Oh my god!
Hey
Welcome.
guys, welcome to the vlog. Welcome to the podcast.
What are we vlogging today?
We were vlogging all kinds of things today. We got some interesting things coming up vlog wise too.
I did something fun for your vlog.
I
for
know
once.
that was cool.
Should we tell them? Should
No.
we tease it? Come on, let's tease it a little bit.
Okay, so it has to do with you
Waterworks.
in Bowser's Pond.
We're
But we're not going to say anything else.
we're doing
You
waterworks.
in Bowser's Ponds.
Let's just say a little
Ponds.
aerobics, water aerobics at the
And-
Reptarium.
And Bowser's Pond.
There may or may not have been a birthday party. We all fit into Bowser's Pond.
Really? The whole kids and all?
No kids.
No kids?
21 and up. We were
Okay.
all in our
Cool.
skibbies.
Any
my
scuba
God.
strippers?
Wow. Scuba strippers.
By the way, skibbies, is that how you say it? Or is it
Yeah,
skivvies?
Skivvies.
Skivvies, yeah.
Skivvies, okay.
Yeah,
Skivvies.
skivvies.
I just like to get
So
the grammar
obviously the
correct.
elephant in the room.
Wait, what? I don't see.
I know the elephant in the room is that the elephant's not in the room.
Ah.
So Lori is not here today, unfortunately.
Now why is
She
that?
got abducted.
Yeah, she's gone. She's
from the
she quit-
aliens.
She quit. Oh, I'm going to talk about aliens. I've got a little list of things
Well,
to talk about
and
today.
It's because she got abducted.
She got abducted. She's so she quit the podcast, so she won't
She
be on
quit.
the podcast anymore
Yeah, it's
Forever.
done.
forever. No, the truth is that she really strange. I'm sure everything's going to be fine, but she got a really severe headache, which she never gets. I mean,
No.
you know, so that's why I'm hoping. Hopefully,
Surprising.
by the time we get home, she'll be feeling better. But to the point where she literally had to leave work today at about 3:00, which is just never happens.
She should have. She should smoke some out of that peace pipe. Smoke something out of the peace pipe.
Oh yeah, she could maybe do that.
She,
Does that help or does it hurt
yes.
though?
Can I
It
tell you,
helps.
Oh,
Dad?
yeah.
Can I be honest with you? I know it's weird because you're my father,
Mhm.
but you remember in high school, I used to have migraines very regularly.
yeah.
Like they would debilitate
Yeah.
debilitate me
Yeah,
for
you
a
got
whole
the same
day.
ones like me. Yeah.
Yeah. And my vision would go. I would be
Yep.
in the most immense brain pain of all time.
Yeah.
Brain pain.
I know
hate
it sounds.
I get 'em.
It's kind of cringe to say, but it's true. Like once I started smoking marijuana,
Allegedly.
Mary Jane.
I knock on my wood. I haven't had a migraine in God knows how long.
Well, that's good. I hope it stays that way, and hopefully Lori feels better.
I mean, literally, just to preface this, I
Yes.
used to get them like almost every month.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
There's
do
something there.
sometimes too. You know, I mean, not necessarily once. I'd say about 6 times a year I get them, and they're like you said, they're debilitating.
You can't do anything.
Yeah, you cannot function. It's impossible to function. And you know, so that may have happened to Lori today. I'm not really
Possible.
sure. You know, if that's she said that her eyes didn't get wonky, but she was she had the severe head pain. She had
hate
nausea.
that.
She felt like she wanted to throw up, and
Yeah.
she was looking pretty rough. So I'm hoping that I just hope that
know.
you know by the time we get home she's at least feeling good, because that's never good. So I'm sorry you guys won't see your favorite person on the podcast tonight. Because
But-
that's what everyone says.
We'll try to pull our weight.
We'll do the best we can do to keep you guys entertained.
You know
as
what's
we go.
good though is that, we won't have someone next to us that is just purely bored too.
Yeah, sometimes she is like so zoned out.
Oh my god, yeah, because
Yeah,
we
there's
talk
times
about aliens and
Yeah,
crazy
and that's
stuff.
great because some of I think the majority of my list of things that I want to talk about,
Yeah.
she would be, she might be entertained by one of them.
I think by one for
By
sure.
one. But you have 20 on
But
the
I
list.
have like 15 things.
Yeah.
So Lori's not here. Wish her the best in the chats and
quick
stuff like that.
healing.
Quick healing and stuff like that. I did want to jump right into it
Okay. let's
with
do it.
some reptile news
Oh,
of the kind of cultural side of it.
cultural side is
Well, I
it
don't know if that's the word of
is
it.
it what I'm thinking?
Let's say more like
drama.
the
The
drama.
tabloids?
Yeah, tabloid side. Yeah, I'd say the tabloid side.
All right.
Can you punch up the photo for me?
Yeah, of course.
Oh
no
my
problem
god,
at
do
all.
you have the phone?
So here we go. We gotta take
All right.
the edge off from being the face of the reptile hobby. And that's Kevin McCurley, and he's smoking meth.
At least
It's the evil meth god.
It's the evil meth god.
god.
So this is breaking news.
Yeah,
Kevin,
for all you people out there.
Kevin is a meth head. You've heard it here first.
Oh.
No. The truth is that
No.
anyone with a brain
Yes.
would see that this is Photoshop.
Yeah.
Clearly.
And I've known Kevin for 30 years.
Yeah.
He's
And
out of
Only
his-
once has he smoked.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. With
Not
me,
even once.
with me. No, he is definitely. I can assure you that his craziness and his energy is always been there. It's not meth.
It's natural.
He does not smoke meth. So I think it's just, to be honest with you, it's crazy that people would even. So someone took the time to Photoshop that and start to spread the rumor that he's a meth head, which is
So-
ridiculous.
Now that, if I am correct,
Mm-hmm.
well, actually, I don't want to say if I'm correct because I am not. I just want to know the truth. Is that technically suable by slander?
No, not really.
No.
So really, the people don't understand slander and
No, I
libel.
don't.
Slander and libel is a really difficult thing, number one, to prove. It's almost impossible. You almost never win that in court. And because the person that, let's say Kevin would have to show major damages to his business in order. So he would have to say, this meth picture was put out and my business went down 50% the
next
day after.
day, yeah.
And show that there was a correlation between this picture and that. And then he would have to somehow link it to whoever started the picture. It's impossible.
Sure.
That's why it's like freedom of speech. And, I remember, once Brock Wagner, threatened to sue me from a podcast because I said I thought he was an asshole, and I said, my opinion of you, I can have any opinion I want.
And
you.
it just proves.
It doesn't. Yeah, I didn't tell people not to do business with you.
Hey, and it
I
proves.
just told you that I thought you were an asshole, and you trying to sue me proves you're an asshole.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and,
it just goes to show.
And so I laughed, and I will laugh at anyone that threatens to sue me over my opinion.
We should make that a shirt.
Yeah,
Brock Wagner's an asshole.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Reptile Army.
Yeah, but so interestingly enough, I posted on Kevin put like a funny video out. I was talking to Kevin on the phone.
Okay.
When and I called him up, said, "So you're doing meth now, huh? You're just fucking with me."
Yeah, just fucking.
And obviously he goes, "Can you believe this shit?" And apparently it was like he said that it was like a venomous group on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Like it started this like a few months ago, but just in the last couple of days it kind of blew up and became like now people think it's real. Like he really
so
did.
crazy.
So I posted like just a funny satirical thing saying like I knew you always smoked horse manure. Now I have proof. I'm vindicated, stuff like that. And literally a guy comes on and destroys me. Destroys me, saying that I'm an abuser, and then someone says, "Where's your proof?" And then his proof. Let me read this, man. I'll read to you guys what this says. It's a good shit here. Well, actually, no, it's not fucking here. It doesn't matter. So he says, his proof is all from Reptile Keepers Against Brian Barczyk, by the way, which is the most credible source out there.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that a group that says Reptile Keepers Against Brian Barczyk can only have a non-biased opinion of me. Only
that makes sense.
non-biased.
100%.
Only non-biased. But so it says. That obviously I've been I've got multiple sunrises. That she dies every few months, and I just replace her.
Sunrises every day.
17.
Yeah, sunrise. Yeah, and of course Daisy's
rotation.
had mouth rot for at least 15 years.
15.
At least 15
Going
years
on
she's
16.
had. And then of course there was a picture of a snake without a water dish in it.
Oh my!
Heaven forbid that picture came when I took the water dish out. Because I keep all my snakes without water.
Well, that's how we keep them skinny.
Yeah, that's how we keep them.
Don't
Streamlined.
Yeah,
Streamlined.
if we don't have to fill the waters, and of course, then there's the one that I love the best. Even his wife said he kills all his geckos.
So true.
Because of a snake bite
she says
skit that
that
we did, that they took a 10-second clip out of a 2-minute sit, like we did a satirical
plastic
thing.
bag,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm sure that's on there now. He's putting snakes in plastic bags.
Can't believe it.
And he went down the list of things that are all just complete, utter fucking bullshit that people will spread for me on Reptile Keepers Against Brian Barczyk. That is just all lies. And then people like this jackass has an opinion and has to go, what a dickhead, And of course, guess what? He has 58 followers and his account is on private, of course.
Nice.
Because he doesn't have the balls. Guys like that, I wish you would come to the Reptarium and say it to my fucking face.
Won't. I saw the funniest thing ever. It was an MMA guy, right? He tweeted something about, blah, 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 my career, this, that, and the third. He was just like, you shouldn't have never fought. You're a better commentator than you are a fighter. And he was just like, say that to my face, pussy. The guy's just like, I won't. That's why I said it on Twitter. And then the guy replied, he was just like, fair point, valid point, valid point.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's the truth.
No, it is the truth. As a matter of fact, it was funny because I saw something about, I don't know NBA well enough. You may know. There's like this player that played for the Washington Wizards, that Michael Jordan.
Gilbert Arenas?
Okay, that was he the one that was like a bust? Like number one draft pick?
No.
So he was like a number one draft pick when Michael Jordan was playing for the Wizards. And I guess the guy just, it was like a big flop because like the pressure, like Michael Jordan just like overdid it, like the pressure was so big on this. And so this is years ago.
Yeah.
And so like a couple guys on ESPN basically, I guess for years, this guy has been like the joke, the biggest bust in NBA history. Yeah. And so a couple people on ESPN were throwing some shade at him, like, this guy was the biggest disappointment. And so he went to Twitter after years of saying nothing. Yeah. And he fucking railed him. He's like, you pieces of shit, blah, blah. I mean, he went crazy, and they both apologized to him.
They apologized?
They both apologized to him. They said, you're right, we went overboard, stuff like that. Because he was basically saying, listen, I bought my mom a house. I came from the streets. I made enough money to buy my mom a house. I give my kids things. You think I'm a loser? You think I'm a loser when I do this stuff for the community and blah, 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 blah? He goes, maybe I didn't turn out to be the basketball player you thought I was supposed to be, but as a human being, I'm a winner. You know, and they came back and they said, you're right. You know, that's bullshit, you know. But anyways, my point is, and I'm sorry, I fired up right off the bat.
Oh, my God.
But it did, you know, I don't let these fucking haters really get to me often.
Yeah.
And that one don't care. I could give a shit about that guy. But the point is that it's like, really, I post a funny thing on Kevin and you use that to attack me?
Of course.
You know what I mean? And then there were a few people like saying, hey, you don't have proof, you know, you're a hater, interesting, your account's on private, stuff like that. But the guy come back and, you know, and it was just funny when he gave the list. It was every point that every hater says about me. Yeah. That's 100% a lie. Every single one of them a lie. Yeah. You know, Sunrise has been around for, you know, we've never had another Sunrise. We had Sunshine die, and she died, and then we replaced her with Sunrise. Sunrise has been around ever since.
Hence the name.
Yeah, exactly. And Daisy has never had mouth rot, ever, in her entire life. You know, and the list just goes on and on. Yeah, I mean, like, fucking idiots, man. I'm sorry to start the podcast in a rant.
I don't know. You know, it's just something, you know, this is the sad truth. We all have the freedom of speech, and then we all have this border of protection on the phone where you can now talk to anybody.
A big man,
The problem is like, you know, before, let's say when people were just starting to get famous, you could literally never talk to the celebrity.
Right,
ever.
yeah, that's
It was impossible unless you met him in person and you maybe got one sentence out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they had a security guard there that would just pull you away if you were an asshole.
Exactly.
You know, but even like the thing with Kevin, it's a bummer. You know, if you really think about it, listen, there's a lot of people in the industry that are doing great things, you know, Tiki's Geckos and Ryan from Underground Reptiles. But Kevin is definitely working as hard as anyone with USARK and protecting the hobby. We obviously are donating as much money, if not more money, than almost anybody to USARK, as well as the cause, as well as we use our audience to try to not only spread education and love, but also go after the laws. So we're doing all these things. Like, why attack me and Kevin? You know what I mean? Like, literally, I'm not saying we're the two biggest, but we're certainly in the top 10 people that are actually protecting this asshole's right to keep reptiles.
That's why, though. It's that weird thing that, for some reason, if, like, you love someone, like, there's this weird thing. I don't know the answer for it, but I'm trying to pick it apart and try to find it right now. There's just this weird thing where people kind of hop on these bandwagons, even if it goes from something of as evil as hate, all the way to something as simple and lighthearted as a good sports team. Yeah. People will hop on these bandwagons and they will just kind of blindly follow the lead of somebody else that are having similar emotions.
That's the other thing that he said. He said that I left a mummified baby in a snake for a year and then removed it without any surgical, like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, are you
stupid.
I left that. I left the snake. I knew
I'm going to mummify this one.
I knew it was in there, and I didn't let her put it out. I made her hang on to that thing for a year. You know, it's like how do these people say stuff that doesn't make sense? But I think that's what
stupid people.
My understanding with Kevin was that this was a venomous community because he did this stuff with Lilith. Like, remember, she had an eye shit.
Saved her life.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is what people don't understand because, number one, people, I've heard this about us, like when I did the egg-bound snake, some people were bitching about me not having a vet do it. Number one, we have a vet. Our vet literally bought the building next door to us, okay? Yeah. So we have a vet that we go to when we want to. My vet has never seen an egg-bound snake in her life. Do you think I should have her do the removal of an egg, or someone like me that has done it for 30 years? Who's better?
Exactly, and it's the clear, obvious choice, but not. It is obvious to us, but to these people commenting with the fucking stupid shit, it's not obvious. They're very dumb, dull-witted.
They only have dog experience where, like, you wouldn't do that to your dog. You'd bring it to a vet.
Right. And honestly, the truth is, there's people that do it to their dogs because they're better to. Like,
you're not wrong.
Jay helps pop fucking Phoebe's asshole because she can get swollen ass glands.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, what vet are you going to take a fucking king cobra that wants to kill everybody?
Gnarly king cobra.
What vet are you going to take and say, hey, do me a favor, fix this eye up, when Kevin has the experience of doing this stuff for 35 years? You know, obviously, that's the thing that makes me mad. It's like, it's not that we don't have a vet. I have a vet.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're moving next door. We have a great relationship with our vet. If I have some issue that I need to confer with her on, I confer with her. But the truth is that every time I've talked to her about a reptile thing, she's asking me questions.
Yeah.
She's like, have you ever seen this? When you saw this before, what did you do?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And it's not, she's a great vet. She's an exotic animal vet. She specializes in reptiles and amphibians and other exotic animals.
Yeah.
But the point is that experience of 35 years, I've seen a million times more. She gets one animal a week that's her snake, right? Mm-hmm. I'm seeing 30,000 snakes a week. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I'm going to have more experience than she has. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to go like do surgery on a snake without anesthesia because I think I know what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm going to take it to her for that stuff. But with something that I know, I've gotten 100 eggs out of snakes
easily,
and I know how to do it, and I've never killed one of them. So what am I going to do? Like, and so whatever. Let's move on before I just get fired.
You're fired.
Oh,
baby.
It's a valid thing to be understood. It's very hard because the thing that we got to try to really realize is that we're just dealing with the lowest of the lows of intellect.
And the loudest of the low.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, anyone that, like I said, the group that's against me on Facebook is still the same 20 fucking 20, 35 to 40-year-old guys that are just angry as fuck about life.
They wish
and they
were
just keep on circulated. Yeah, they do. They do.
Of course.
No one can look at what we did with the Reptarium and say that we're abusing our animals. You know what I mean? Nobody. I mean, anyone that comes into our place, not just the Reptarium, but also BHB, they come in and they're always like, my gosh, your stuff is so well taken care of.
It is not, and we're not saying that we're perfect because accidents still happen.
Well, this is the other thing. Yes, things die. Because I keep thousands of animals. Something's going to die. It's going to get old. There's going to be some breeding situation.
Genetic randomness.
Yeah, genetic random. I mean, the thing is if you have 5 snakes, the chance of you losing one of those 5 snakes is pretty simple. But if you have 5,000 animals, chances are pretty good that you're going to lose. At any given time, do you know in any living population, about 3% of that population has got some sickness. Yep. That's humans, everything. Okay, So you figure if I have 1,000 animals, that means that 30 of them are sick.
Yeah.
That's not the case here. I mean, if we have 10,000 animals, whatever we have between geckos and everything else here, we might have 3 animals sick at any time.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that's like way lower than the net average right there. And we hardly ever lose anything, and when we do lose things, it's going to happen. But, the difference is
it hurts.
Yeah, of course it hurts. I fucking cry.
Exactly. It's not like you're just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like,
I cry when things die. I mean, I get so emotionally attached. But these bozos, they've got 3 snakes and they're like, look at him.
I'm crushing it.
Sunshine died. Yeah. He killed her.
It's the 6th one.
Yeah, not to, yeah, exactly. I mean, listen,
we would name it a different name anyway.
For sure.
Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Idiot.
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's no reason for me to like mysteriously just replace an animal without ever. You know what I mean?
So
like
weird.
It's the most asinine thing in the world.
It's very interesting to me where these people get these ideas. Like,
well, you know what I want?
Do they just sit down and like just how sometimes writers will write a book. Yeah. They're writing their own book about your life, this fictitious life.
This is the other thing that they said is that I make, and Jay, you work for me, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you ever sign a gag order or any?
I don't even know what that is.
So they're saying that all my employees have to sign an NDA saying that they can't speak about anything that happens here.
No.
Why do I make my employees sign gag orders?
I've never even heard of that. So
right,
no,
yeah.
Does
one person in here ever signed an NDA or a gag order? No. Shut the fuck up.
And you can't even. There's no proof of that, like, at all. Yeah. Like, there's not proof for most things, if any of these things that these people are saying.
No, they're all just making shit up. But anyways, let's move on to a couple other things here.
Got it.
So Kevin is not a meth head.
No meth.
Kevin does a lot of crazy shit, but no meth.
He deals with morphs, not meth.
Right, exactly. Now, what else he does, I don't know. In his sexual prowess, I'm not going to talk about that one.
I heard a thing about swings.
I heard a thing about
swings?
BDSM, and I heard about
SNL.
I'm not sure what else he's doing out there,
I don't know.
But that's his, consenting adults can do whatever they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Totally.
I'm joking about that too. I love Kevin, and it's a bummer that people are attacking him.
Funny thing about BDSM.
Yeah, it is always funny. Yeah,
there's a lot of funny things about it.
Especially if you have a safe word.
Yeah, the safe word.
Especially if it's cucumber.
Pineapple. Ooh. No, not the pineapple. I said pineapple. But I have a friend in Oregon. It might be Oregon. She works or Portland rather. Same type of thing, but Oregon, more specific. She works in an alpaca farm.
Oh, that's awesome. I love alpacas.
This past Friday, I mean, literally like hundreds of alpacas. But this past Friday, she had to shave some of them.
Oh.
And the weirdest thing, the way they have to restrict them, they tie them to like a board. And they they look comfortable, like they're laid out and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're literally strapped up like
Oh my God,
BDSM.
That's weird.
Ooh,
It is weird. But
We actually got invited to
a BDSM party.
an alpaca
I would love that.
Yeah, me too.
party.
okay.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
seriously.
Also great.
Why didn't we go? What is
No,
this?
it's still coming up. It's in July.
Well, we going.
Yeah,
We're going. Where is it?
It's in Michigan, right down the street. It's like
What?
within like an hour here.
Oh, we gotta
so,
be there.
Do you remember? You guys will never know who
Let's
this is.
see.
There's a guy named Brandon, and his girlfriend used to come to the Reptarium all the
Yeah,
time. He did
wait.
the cement work
Yeah,
and stuff
I
like
know
that.
exactly.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? He brought the beef jerky and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I remember
And
Brandon.
great guy. His mom has an alpaca farm. I guess
Okay.
hundreds of alpacas.
Yeah.
And she's having this open house. And weirdly enough, like he sent me the Facebook,
Yeah.
like invite, and it was like. I don't know, like 3,800 people said they were going.
shit.
Whoa.
I mean, it wasn't like a small
gonna be an
thing.
event, yeah.
It was like 3,800 people actually responded like, yes, I'm interested, I'm
Now,
going.
what happens at said Paca
I don't
festival?
know. I don't know if it's a nudist thing
Do
or I
people
don't know what
bring
it
their
is.
own Pacas, or is it just hers?
No, I think it's just her alpacas, and maybe they have barbecue and events, and you play with alpacas, or
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
You know what I
Wow.
love about them? Like, have you ever seen them run?
Yeah,
Like, as
I've
a-
been
I was gonna
chased
say
by
he's been
him.
chased
It's a
by it.
chased by
a
one.
group by them. Like,
Not like a group.
they
but
run so well.
I haven't seen
with-
a group. But
A group is funny because they all run differently.
Mm.
Some of them will run with their heads down and they're like, "Roar," and
Yeah.
some will just bolt straight on, like good form and
Right.
stuff. But they're very goofy animals.
Yeah, I can
I
believe
love
it.
them.
let's
I
hit
want
some,
one.
let's hit some
Yeah.
supers
We're-
because
we
we're
got a
getting
bunch of
behind
them.
because I ranted for
No, it's all
25
good.
No,
minutes.
you're good. Silver Cash says, I've become the feeder rat source in my town. I could
Nice.
almost quit making pizzas.
Oh shit!
that's
and
awesome.
Jay, we had 650 pizzas Saturday.
Oh,
Fuck, man.
How do you
That's more
make
than
that?
I've ever done. That's a lot.
That's
I've
impressive,
only done
and it's
5.
awesome that follow your passion there. Go after the rats.
Get after that rat
Get
gold.
that rats. Yeah.
Rare Dog says, "Oh my God, a growing up Will Banks shirt. Noah, stand up. Let's see the back. Oh my God, crazy awesome. You rock."
Yeah, yeah. Did they make it into the vlog yet?
I
or
haven't
no?
put it in yet. No.
Okay, yeah, we have obviously we opened the package,
So
and that's going to get into the vlog.
I'm
So
gonna be mean right now because I'm ignorant. Is he work for Will Banks?
no, so I think that they're part of.
They're the ones that sent the
Yeah,
shirts,
they're
I
the ones
think.
that sent the shirts, and
okay.
and they. So I don't really tell me if I'm wrong here, Jay. And by the way, you can tell me if I'm wrong as well. In the super chat is that I think it's a Facebook group that just was like kind of fans of Mike Wilbanks.
It's like Reptile Keepers for Brian Barczyk.
Yeah, like Reptile Keepers for Brian Barczyk,
Ah.
but for Will Banks, and they call it Growing Up Will Banks.
Okay,
which I
cool.
think is cool.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they're doing a barbecue that we're going to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be dope.
Yeah,
I'm
they act-
excited for that.
Let me see.
Yeah.
They also said just to
You coming down too?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It says, in case someone asks you, July is a limited entry by invitation only
Ooh.
gathering. It's not open to the public.
Okay.
We are counting the days till we see you. It's
Yeah.
going to be epic because you will be there.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
There you go. So for all you peons out there, you're not
You're not
invited.
allowed to
You're
come
not
with
allowed-
us.
Yeah,
But you know
yeah.
what? We'll vlog it and show you how awesome a time we had.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be so much fun?
What's that?
Is that all of us three right
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
we're not even gonna have to. We're not even gonna have to be required to wear masks
Nothing.
or
I know,
anything
it's
because we're
French
gonna be,
kissing.
We're
We're
gonna
vaxxed,
be vaxxed
we're
up,
vaxxed
boy.
up. Yep. Not to mention in Oklahoma, they don't know what a mask is.
Yeah, they haven't.
Like,
not
what
even
you
for
got
Halloween.
on your face, mister?
It ain't Halloween.
Mister.
Yeah. What you doing? It ain't October 31st.
It ain't October.
So
Yeah,
so I
nocturnal.
think that we need to put a plan together. Like have you ever seen like the distraction plans
Yeah.
where like the thieves?
Yeah.
So I think we make a big distraction. Like maybe
like
you
it.
get into a fight with someone.
I can
I
do that.
slip into Will Banks' facility. I take a bunch of snakes.
Yeah,
I
all
put them
that
in a bag,
blackheads.
Yeah,
and then
blackheads.
then we're out.
Yeah.
We're out.
We're gone.
You know
We're
what I mean?
gone.
Then you stop your fight. And we go. Okay, we're taking Noah home.
gone.
No, well, you're drunk,
just-
man.
we
We
just-
gotta get you out of here.
Yeah, and then we're just loaded up with a
Meth.
bunch of Will Banks snakes.
Yeah, where's my pipe?
So-
Where's Kevin's pie?
Yeah. then we just smoke.
Please.
We sell the snakes and we smoke meth with
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Fucking ready.
This I got the plan. I got the plan.
Plan's
'Cause,
lighting up.
But it is going to be really fun. I love Oklahoma. Will Banks' place was really dope, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone and hanging out. And it will be, I guess, it'll be the first event that we've been
Like
to
good
that is like a
big one.
normal event, So I'm sorry that it's not open to the public.
Supposedly it's supposed to be
cool.
barbecue.
Well,
as
yeah, I
well.
mean, Oklahoma has great barbecue.
Great
Yeah,
barbecue.
I've never had Oklahomian barbecue.
I don't know, but
Oklahomians.
they're lovely people down there, so we're gonna have a great time.
Simple Man says, hope Lori starts feeling better. Great
Yeah.
podcast last night, Noah.
Oh well, thank you so much.
It
Simple
was a
Man.
really good podcast last night. Something I'm going to talk about a little bit here in a minute. But
I
yeah.
think that I liked it a lot because we weren't trying to be goofy at all. We were just strictly having like a serious conversation about each other's lives, and
yeah.
truth be told, I mean, Tim and I, we've met each other probably almost 100 times now.
Yeah, in
but
open mics.
we truly have never had a conversation like that. You know, when we're there, like, yeah, it's all fun and games, but in our minds, like, you know, it's business. Like, we're trying to
build relationships.
We're focused.
Right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're trying to build relationships, but like, you're focused on trying to do your set and stuff like that. And when, you know, especially a guy like Tim, he's really grinds. So he's really like, he chills for a little bit, but he's really this place, this place.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think when you're, you know, even though comedy is about being funny, it's a business and it's about being professional. And it's about, you know, and you're just new in the game and you're, you know, networking well and you've got a lot to learn, obviously. But you're, you know, in the short period of time you've been doing it, you've learned a lot, you know. And
oh my God, so much that I needed to take a couple of days off the pet recently because my brain was literally. It felt like I filled a toy bin full of toys and there was just toys spilling out the sides and stuff. Like I needed to recuperate and
reorganize the thought.
Yeah, because it was just
sometimes
like shit was spilling.
Sometimes too much bandwidth is like crazy. You just like cause yourself. You got to just, like you said, process it. But it's cool. Again, if you guys normally on Fridays, but this week it was on Tuesday, so make sure you always turn those post notifications on. But Noah has. It's cool if you want to follow comedy scene, which is in Detroit, which is hopefully a growing scene, and hopefully will be a big part of the future of that. You can follow along on his podcast, which I think is awesome. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So let's jump on a couple of supers.
Desert Dragon Works says, my first leopard gecko babies from a trio I bought from you, just hatched.
Nice.
They're gorgeous.
Awesome.
Thanks for getting me excited about raising them.
That's awesome. Congratulations to you,
that's
man.
awesome.
You deserve it, man. You did. It's, you know, whenever you did the work to produce stuff, you deserve all the credit. So good job.
Rare Dog also said, growing up, Will Banks loves Brian Barczyk. Just saying.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate you guys, and you know, it's again, this is what I talked to Kevin about. Like, it's a shame that our hobby has to be a type of hobby. And I'm not saying there's other hobbies do it too, but not all hobbies. This hobby of reptiles is so vitriolic, again, for people beating up on Kevin for trying to save a snake, you know, making up that he's a meth head.
I mean, yeah, that's
you know,
so bad.
You know, I mean,
like,
come on. I mean, yeah, that's, you know, I mean, the only thing you could do worse is say he's a pedophile or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, you're not
and
wrong.
I'm sure people have said that, you know. As a matter of fact, in the Barczyk hate group, they said I was a pedophile. And that was the only thing that they deleted when I had screenshots of it, because I was going to go after the guy legally. Because that's one thing you can't say about
no way.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing I when I saw that, when someone said me in the screen capture, this is like 5 years ago, I went ballistic and I said, you better have fucking proof before you fucking call me a pedophile. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the type of shit that happens. You know, it's a bummer that our like, why the fuck
vitriol, right?
Why is our hobby that way? Why don't everyone, you know, you don't have to agree with things. And it's just like, I
don't know.
You know, it's, again, you don't have to agree with what I do. You don't have to agree with anything, but you know, to think I'm an animal abuser is ridiculous. To think that Kevin is a bad guy, that he somehow killed. I mean, that leucistic cobra is still alive because of what Kevin did. You know, 99% of people that had that leucistic cobra with the subocular infection, that snake would be dead. Already. It would already be dead. Yeah. So, you know, and there's no vet that he would have taken it to that would have been able to do any better than he did. Sure. But, you know, but not only to say, like, I can't believe Kevin did that, but then to say he's a meth head, and to go, I mean, it's a terrible Photoshop anyway. Anyone that saw that picture, as soon as we saw the picture, we were
first
all like,
thing
that's fake. That's Photoshopped, you know? And so it's just a bummer. You know, like Kevin's going to allow someone to take a picture of him doing meth.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and that's what I say, even like with the hate with us, is like, you're taking my videos that I put out on the internet,
chopping and skewing,
and you know, do you think I'm going to put a video out? Do you think I'm really going to put a video out with my wife Lori saying I kill everything? Yeah. You know, I mean, seriously, if she said that in a video, I would cut it out. Yeah. I wouldn't put it on the internet.
Real, yeah,
if it was real. Yeah, if it was
sarcasm.
real. I mean, you know, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's ridiculous that these people believe this shit. Like, you don't see any stuff. You don't see other people's pictures of my stuff being neglected. You only see stuff that's on my page. You think I'm putting out video that's implicating me as an animal abuser? You fucking idiots.
I really just, when I think about it, I really just think like how there are the occasional Albert Einstein with the ridiculously high IQ, and he can use it so well. I think there's just so many low IQ fuckers out there.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
And Kevin, quite frankly, Kevin is one of those really high IQ guys.
Definitely.
You know, he's way beyond most people's thinking.
I mean, he breeds reptiles while brooming.
Yeah.
And playing guitar.
And
like
playing
he's
guitar,
sweeping,
yeah.
playing
Well,
guitar.
that's the meth. That's the
sweeping,
meth.
yeah.
That's the meth that gets him going. But I love the fact that, I mean, his response, unlike me, that I get like kind of butthurt and I'm like, I can't believe people think that.
What did
his
he do?
response is like he put out a video of him like dancing around like he was on meth, and then at the end he gave him the thumbs up. Fuck you, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how he responded
That's
to
perfect.
it. So it's awesome. And then of course, you know, the whole thing. But anyways,
And I love that about humans in general, like because obviously not every human is like that, but what I'm saying, the humans that have that humor about them, that is such a beautiful thing, to take that hit on the chin and just brush it off with a laugh like that. That shows great character,
Grace.
in my mind.
yeah, no, that's good. I mean, it's good for him.
Dope Skin says, finally catching you live. Thanks for the great content.
Thank you, Dope Skin. I
Hey.
appreciate you.
Thanks for tuning in, Big Dog.
I wonder what that means, Dope Skins.
Yeah, I
Dope
wonder.
skins.
I wonder what
think,
that.
it's probably just like, you know, the Native
Dope
Americans when they would
skins.
skin people's heads.
Oh,
and
dope
shit.
skins.
maybe.
Dope skins. They just
Ah.
have really high-powered scalps.
I wonder if it's just
Oh,
like the
nice.
skins of the reptiles, because that's what you're
Dope
working
skins.
with,
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes
Dope
sense.
skins.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's a good name, too.
That could
It
work.
actually,
that could be it too.
That's possible.
That's
One of those
One-
two is
yeah.
true, for sure.
50-50.
50-50.
Simple Man
Yeah.
says, F the haters. You the best, man.
Thank
you,
you so much,
Simple
Simple Man. I appreciate it.
I just watched that movie like 2 nights ago.
What was it?
War Dogs, 50-50.
Oh, 50-50.
Are we
Is
gonna
that a
make
great-
it 50-50?
Yeah, 50-50. I'm telling you, man, I told the story about Forrest saying that,
Africa.
and it was literally the only thing that got me through that moment.
Yeah.
I was as on close to, I mean, we were literally moments away from dying. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding you when I say
I know.
dying.
No,
I'm
no.
saying we were going to be killed.
I watched the video and felt like I almost died.
Yeah.
You want to know something funny? So the first time you talked about that story on the podcast, I clipped it, blah, 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 posted it. Somebody literally commented, and this just goes to prove how dumb people are.
Yeah.
Somebody commented, they were like, you can't get killed in South Africa like that.
Oh
That's
my
not
gosh.
real.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my. I was just
Yeah.
like,
You go.
Literally, like I said, when the guy,
Just
the guy
proves.
that, again, my friend that sent the
Yeah.
tow truck driver with a gun,
Yeah.
the guy came in with a gun, the guy's left, and that tow truck driver that is in that area told me, he said, at least once a week someone gets killed in this parking lot. At least once a week, someone gets killed in this parking lot.
It can't though, Bri.
But
It's
it
in
can't
South
happen.
Africa.
It can't happen. It
I have
can't
a
happen.
question.
Idiot.
Ask Heidi if people get killed in South Africa.
Yeah.
all right, I have a question. I want to pick your brain, your story on this one.
Yes.
So you said you were in a gas station?
We're in a gas station.
Now,
yeah.
is it similar to gas stations here? Did they have
Yeah,
like
it's pretty
snacks
similar.
and stuff inside?
Yeah.
And so is there there's a guy behind the cash register, right?
Yeah, and that guy was scared out of his fucking mind.
And he didn't have a gun?
Oh fuck no! He not only had a
What?
gun, but he
Oh,
was
he
like
did.
no. He
No
didn't.
gun?
No gun.
What?
And he was terrified. Like I mean, like I went up to him and said, "Hey, there's these guys out here." He literally backed away. Like as long as they don't kill me, I don't care. I mean, literally, he like was terrified the fact that we were going to get yanked out of that gas station and fucking hacked
Lit
up
on
by a
fire.
machete. Yeah.
Dude, oh my god. Okay, I have 2 thoughts going on right here. First one is, why doesn't he have a weapon? And,
Well, I think it's illegal, maybe to. I don't know. I don't know why.
and
he
my
doesn't have a
second
weapon.
one is, if I ever make a movie about Africa, I'm definitely using that scene. I'm
It- it's-
Oh, you
using,
have
I'm
to.
using
telling
your
you,
real
you know,
story.
It's a bummer. I hate the fact that Forrest is no longer with us because he's the only other person that experienced that and understood the level. I mean, I'm not embellishing anything in this
Oh,
story.
you're not.
I mean, this story was legitimately the most scary thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. I mean, literally, that if I don't stop in Moy River, if I don't meet my buddy Paul, if I don't get Paul's phone number, which I didn't have before stopping in Moy River,
Yeah.
if I don't call him.
Yeah.
Well, actually, even more than that, if Paul is the one that told me if I get a flat or my car breaks down, be
Yeah.
careful, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
So if I would have broke down without talking to Paul, I would have never thought we were going to get killed. So I
Yeah.
would have just been like sitting outside, like, oh,
Lackadaisical, yeah.
like no big deal.
my
So that, and then like I said, I was able to call Paul. He was like, I know exactly where this is. He was 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
He goes, I know exactly where this is. I'm calling my friend with the tow truck. He'll be there in 5 minutes. He said, do not go. He said, get inside. Do not talk to anyone. Stay inside. Blah, 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 blah. Just stay
Yeah.
alive for the next 5 minutes. And literally, if it was 7 minutes, we would have been dead. Because there was already one of the guys was inside the gas station coming for us when the guy came in.
And so, wow, so that truck driver did come in 5 minutes?
And he had a gun.
Wow, that's
He
beautiful.
walked in with a gun.
That's so lucky of you that he was 5 minutes away.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, so many things had to happen so perfectly for me to still be here talking to you
And
right
so
now.
those are those like coincidences are the only kind of, not to get on like too deep of a talk, but those are like the only kind of things that make me go like, well, maybe there is a God.
Yeah.
But it's such a selfish thing to think because of all the same, vice versa. If we take your situation, so many people have lost their lives in a vice versa situation.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So it's just like,
well, I think there is like
sorry
that higher power, say source code, energy, universe, whatever you want to call it, that, I was supposed to live through that. And these situations came up that let me live through it. You know, other people are not that lucky, and they would be killed in that situation. Like I said, if 3 different things didn't happen, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
So
and those 3
crazy.
things happened perfectly in unison in order for me to stay alive.
Wow.
So it's a weird thing, but yeah, of course you can't get caught. You can't
very-
get killed in South Africa. Don't look on Google and see how many people. As a matter of fact, when we were there in South Africa in Johannesburg,
I was gonna say Joburg alone.
When we were there, there was this is the most horrifying thing. There was some riots that broke out in the city.
Okay.
And they literally, like, dozens of people were macheted to death. Macheted to death.
Yeah.
That was when we were there.
And everyone that has used a machete knows they're not that sharp.
No, you have to be
dull.
hacked. Could you imagine being hacked to death by a machete?
You get hacked.
I mean, I'd rather get shot.
Oh my
anything.
God.
All day.
Don't hack.
Don't
me
Hit
hack
me
with
with pretty much a
machete.
blunt object.
And like I said, the
don't
guy
hack
that
me.
the truck, the tow truck driver said that, Jay had mentioned it. He said usually what they do is they'll literally put you in tires with gasoline and light you on fire.
Yeah.
To die. They don't even machete you there. They literally light you on fire and let you burn
Which is
to
like
death.
the worst way to die.
It's like the fucking witches of Salem, man. All over again.
It's a direct passage to hell.
Yeah, it's just a horrible thing. But anyways, yeah, you can't get hurt in South Africa.
Sammy Young says, Brian, I'm sorry people are such twat waffles.
Yeah.
People
I like
hate
that.
what they can't emulate. Much love.
Yeah,
That's a good saying.
And listen, and thank you.
It
I
is.
love twat waffles. Sounds great.
Delicious.
And listen,
yeah.
I'm
Delicious.
not gonna lose a minute of sleep. This happened literally minutes before we went on air. I was a little hot. I'm happy I got it out of my system. I feel sorry for the person that believes that shit because they're such a simple-minded person. They can't think for themselves, and they can't look and say, "Oh my God, look at all the good that Kevin is doing. Look at all the good that Brian is doing. Look at all the good that these other people are doing." And they just want to jump on the hate train. And so trust me, I'm not gonna lose an ounce of sleep over it. I really am not. As a matter of fact, if I lose any sleep, it'll be from feeling bad for that asshole.
Yeah.
There you go, baby. Okay, let's all hit it together, okay? 3, 2, 1. Sheesh. There we go.
So this is Jimmy. He's up in
Thanks, Jimmy.
the UP.
He's in the Youper?
He's a Youper.
Oh, man, I was just up
He's a
there,
Youper.
bud.
He's come down to the Reptile a couple times.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
There's this one chick that wants me to go hunting with her in the UP. I'm like,
Oh, you're gonna get killed.
I'm like,
Get
I don't
murdered
really do
immediately.
that stuff. I don't
No,
do that
she's gonna
stuff.
tie you to a tree.
Yep, drag
She's
you into
like,
the back of the
We
woods.
can go out to the lake and smoke a joint,
Oh,
and we
she's
can
gonna
go
drown you.
hunting. And I'm just like, I don't know about all that.
Gosh, that's a wild pickup line, man.
That's literally how she came at me.
Wow, she's like,
Come to the UP and go hunting, smoke a joint,
Smoke blunts? Go
Sorry.
hunts. Blunts and hunts.
blunt
Wow.
and hunt,
I
rub
mean,
my cunt.
Blunts, hunts, and guns.
Oh my gosh, wow.
No mama today.
Will be a good trip.
Yeah, without Lori, never know what's gonna happen.
Who's reeling in Noah on this one?
The boys are in the house.
V-Dog says, Brian, any normal person can see how much you care for your animals. I made a comment on another vlog agreeing on the COVID vaccine and had a reply that I should be murdered. Some people are just crazy.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
talked
was-
about.
That's why I call it murderner.
Dude, and that's so
Moderna.
funny because you know it's real. You know she's not making that up. You know somebody commented, you should be murdered.
Yeah, I tell people this
So
all the time.
fucked.
The most hate that I've gotten recently was the time I did the vaccine.
But you
I talked
didn't
about
even, you did the vaccine like card holder.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's so
wasn't saying like if you don't, if you don't
Oh
get
my
vaccinated,
God.
you're a terrible person. You have to make your own decision. I believe in vaccine. Almost everybody, the vast majority of our crew have been vaccinated,
Yeah, boy.
or getting close to being done with the vaccine. I can tell you, as someone that had COVID and also has been vaccinated, I feel great that I feel I can go into the gas station next door, which by the way is the only store I've been into that without a mask on. I haven't quite gotten the balls to go into other stores yet without a mask on.
It's weird.
But it is weird. It's like it's this social anxiety that
a
like
real thing.
walking in without a mask situation
feel like you're
feels
doing
very
something wrong.
You almost feel like you need your vax thing on your chest.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Like, I
not
got
even
it.
not even that for me. Like, well, Lindsay sent me that vaccinated shirt.
Yeah,
Vaccinated,
yeah,
vaccinated, vaccinated. But it's not about like am I doing? It's more about like I feel like kind of like, oh, am I supposed to be doing this? Like,
Yeah, that's what
it's
I'm
almost
saying.
like I'm doing something wrong.
It's taboo.
You know, it's like I'm with after 16 months of wearing a mask,
So
all of a sudden
crazy,
going
man.
into a place. But I can tell you, when I've walked into the gas station, I spent some time at the Reptile this last weekend without a mask on. Seeing people smile was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I
like
seen
seeing
Sally.
people's
I
faces.
seen Sally's face the other
Yeah,
day, and I
yeah.
didn't realize how long it's been since I seen her
Yeah, I
face.
like
And I was
faces.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God, you look great, Sally. I'm like,
I
that's
know.
awesome.
I mean, I saw my mom for the first time a
You
week.
did?
Less than 2 weeks.
How was that?
I've seen her 3 times
Oh
now.
my God, how was
yeah,
it?
It was fantastic. I mean, to
So
get to
cool.
hug my mom, see her face. Like I said, in the last week and a half, I've been there 3 times.
Oh, that's
you know,
awesome.
to see
I
her.
don't know about you guys, but I swear to God, this is true. I'm not making this up at all. Like, when I got my shot, when I got shot up, I had 0 side effects, by the way.
That's
0 side
me
effects.
too.
The only thing that happened was I went into it a little tired, and when I got it, I wonder if I had like a little adrenaline going
Yeah.
because I was just rushing, but I literally felt more lively
Yeah.
after. I was just like, woo, like, well, I
That's the
did it.
5G.
I did it, like, woo.
Yeah, that's a chip.
Yeah, that's the chip.
Yeah,
It's
shit.
rebooting.
It's rebooting your system. No, I think it is. It does make you feel like you've
Like
got
I-
some protection.
And
you
then
know?
yeah, and so like after like a couple hours, I felt really comfortable. I was just like, you know what? Like this was the right decision. Like
Yeah.
I feel less like I'm in a pandemic now.
Well, I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's almost like you just took the weight of the last 16
listen,
months and took it off your
It's like
shoulders.
weight,
Like,
yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
God, dude.
And listen, you know,
Yeah.
everyone. I'm not mad at anyone that doesn't want to.
Nope.
But the science is behind
We're
it.
just
Not
dis-
only
yeah.
not only is the science telling us that we're seeing dramatic reductions, not only here, but I've talked with Jay about this. Just look at Israel. Israel
God.
has vaccinated almost their entire population, and it's gone.
Sure.
The pandemic is over. It's done. They're completely done. They're literally
That's all that
getting
matters.
maybe 1 death a day, if that, 1 or 0 deaths a day, from going from hundreds of deaths a day to 1 or 0. And it's just because of vaccinations. If you don't like vaccination, then don't get it. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to hate on you, but I know that the fact that if we can get to 70% of the population vaccinated, this will go away. This will
If not,
at least
it'll
go
be there forever.
Yeah, if not, it's going to go. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only way out of this was either, we could have gotten to herd immunity in 2 or 3 more years. So if you guys wanted to live 2 or 3 more years with masks and stuff like that, and the people that think this is the government pushing an agenda, the world is doing this. Well, there's 1.3 billion people have been vaccinated around the world. This isn't America.
And guess what?
This isn't Biden. This isn't any, this is science.
But unless you're Alex Jones, then you know that the world isn't working together.
Right.
There's a reason we have wars and shit.
No, of course not.
So
and
if
listen,
they're
the
all
biggest-
agreeing on this one thing, it's
Right, yeah. No, exactly. I mean, Heidi, my friend in South Africa,
Sure.
she prays she could get vaccinated,
Of course. So
but there's no
it's
vaccine there,
not-
or very, only, they've had like 1 million total vaccines. We're doing 3 million a day.
Now,
you
how
know?
long will it take until we start helping out other countries?
Well, we're
like
already
that?
starting to, and I hope that we'll continue to start to, because
Yeah.
the bigger picture problem really is, and then we can move away from this
Yes,
topic, but
I know.
because I
It
know no one
happens.
wants us to fucking talk about COVID, but there's good news in America, in some other countries as well. But the bigger problem is going to be that divide between rich countries and poor countries.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying, and it's
a
going to
sh-
be
it's a
our
se- it's-
duty as
yeah.
a rich country to help out the poor
100%.
country.
If we don't, then we don't deserve to be a
We-
rich company.
That's
country.
that's a great way to say it. There's this Alan Watts has this great he has so
Alan
many
Watts,
great
yeah.
talks, but one of his talks is talking about like the free man and how we don't deserve to be free if we're not helping those that were enslaved. Like he
Yeah.
was alive during like not Tom Crow.
Jim Crow.
Jim
Crow,
Crow's laws and
yeah.
stuff like that, and he was talking about stuff like that, and it's a very similar thing.
Well,
that
yeah, I
we're
mean,
talking
we
about.
need to help the rest of the world.
You have a responsibility.
And not only
Yeah.
do we need to help them because it's the right thing, but even to save ourselves, right?
Sure.
Because the longer this virus is out there in the uncivil or the undeveloped world, there's chance that something's going to break through with a variant that will
Could be
not
worse,
be
yeah.
protected
Mhm.
by us, and it could be worse. So,
be.
so in our own best interest, we need the world to be vaccinated, or at least away from this virus. And we also need to be good people, and we should be.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, I didn't get the vaccine for myself. I got it so I don't spread it to
Agreed.
someone's grandma Like,
well, that was the thing. When I had COVID, I was worried really about you. I was worried about your mom. I was worried about other people around me. I wasn't really worried about me as much, which was interesting because prior to me getting COVID, I was probably more concerned about my health. But once I got it, I found I wasn't that concerned about my health. I was concerned about everyone around me's health. So that's why I got vaccinated as well. But that's it. Let's move on.
High Desert Python says, you guys rock. Keep spreading positivity. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. I don't know that the start of this was very positive at all. It was like,
I mean, it was.
Depends on how you look at it.
It was, because we were talking about the hate and how...
We were being negative to negative, which is double negative, which is
a positive.
Facts.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Facts. I want to get to a point where I'm, listen, this last year and a half for the world has been very bad, but it's been also bad for me mentally. And I want to get back to that, like I want to be back in that position where I'm always positive and always looking at the good and not worrying about all the things. I want to get there, and I'm slowly getting there.
Hell yeah.
I'm not there yet, but
time to do that.
It is hard because there's so much negativity around, and the world
you have to literally shut off.
The world is a scary place right now, not just from a COVID standpoint, but from an economic standpoint, from the future standpoint. We don't know what's going to happen.
Civil unrest,
it's like civil unrest.
So
I mean, listen, even the Asian American hate is really scary right now, and which I found really interesting because I don't know why anyone would hate Asians. I mean, like they're the nicest people on the planet, right?
I think those people are the same people that leave the hate comments. Like, we're dealing with the same type of people there.
You're right.
Like, because I think why the people hate, and I'm not justifying, I'm just trying to think or understand, like, why the fuck are you doing this? I literally think it's because they have this racist thing in their mind that all Asian descendants have COVID and made
and
this
that's where
thing.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be in this spot or something.
I think
that was a
Trumpism,
really.
Like, what the fuck?
Unfortunately, which is just stupid, but it's crazy. Like I said, I understand. I understood the whole African American thing for forever because of that problem.
Please reword that, because the way you said that did not make it sound well.
What do you mean?
It just, the way you said it was just like, oh, I understand African American. I know that's not where you're coming from.
I meant I understand. I understand the plight that the African Americans have had because of racism.
Yeah.
I understand that's been going on since you said Jim Crow and all those things.
So long.
I get that, but I just didn't know. I didn't even realize there was an Asian American thing. Totally. I was like, what are you talking about? People hate Asian? What? Like what's going on with this? I
agree.
So it kind of took me up, and I guess there's some bills that have just been passed and stuff like that about it. So
for like safety.
Yeah, like anti Asian American,
good.
Discrimination and stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't even know it existed, so that called me an idiot because I just didn't know.
It's it's just a thing, like, we're not Asian.
No,
so, like,
we're not. No,
we're not.
I'm Polish.
Sometimes I smoke some good gas and it makes me look Asian. I'm like, shit.
Well, I'm Polish. Listen, the Polish have been made fun of for
by everybody,
by everyone for the last 100 years.
Still,
but it's okay. I'm all right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind.
I like a good Polish joke.
Yeah, they're really funny.
The problem is that there's not many good ones anymore.
No, they're pretty
stupid. Do with the ladder.
Yeah,
and
like how many Polish? Yeah,
how do you
unscrew a ball,
sink a Polish submarine, all that stuff. Yeah,
What's
exactly.
that one? How's that one?
I don't know. Something like close the screen door, like because they'd have a screen door on there. Something like that. That's a good one though.
That is a good one. That's a good one.
Stupid. Simple Man came back and says, "Have you heard they have found a new species of extinct crocodile?"
Oh, is that what you're punching up?
No, but I would love to see it.
What is it?
It's an 8 million year old crocodile skull discovered in Central Australia is now believed to be a part of an extinct species new to scientists. The skull has been found about 200 kilometers from Alice Springs in the Northern Territory.
Okay, so it's a fossil of a crocodile.
Correct.
So it's not a living crocodile.
Yes.
That's interesting. That's
Very
cool.
cool.
Well, there's so many discoveries we need to,
It seems like it's all happening right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've talked about that a lot. It's insane.
Yeah.
Rare
Dog came back, says, to answer your question, we are a family community with a zero tolerance hate or bashing policy, zero drama, not a fan page. It's a Wilbanks Keeper group fully supported by Mike Wilbanks.
Well, that's great. And I applaud you because a lot of Facebook groups start off anti-drama and then turn into drama.
All you need is one or two bad mods.
What I've seen is exactly, it seems it comes from the mods. What happens is usually the Facebook group is like, all right, we're starting this Facebook group. There's no drama. There's no bashing. There's whatever.
Great.
And then like the mods all of a sudden start banning people because
get power.
how dare you ask about a Mexican black king snake's food, you know? And it turns into this like horrible like community. So the fact I'm not on Facebook, so I've never been on that page, but kudos to you, and I love the fact that you're doing a community like that, and I love the fact that we're involved in that. You guys are you know, at least on our side, and inviting us into your community, because that's fantastic. And I guess you know, I'll give the shout out right now. Go to Growing Up Wilbanks on Facebook and join that group.
Love.
Yeah, give them some love. Tell them I sent you.
Simple Man came back and says, "Rest in peace, Forrest." And how's Baby Kush?
Baby's Kush is doing good. Really getting big, you know. Really getting big. And as a matter of fact, Bruce is back as of today.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, Bruce is back.
I seen him today, but I didn't get to talk to him.
Yep.
About
So he's cleared to come back, so he
yeah.
can start working. I think he's come to work tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And so we can start working with Baby Kush and all the other monitors a little bit closer. And so and definitely
awesome.
rip Forrest for sure.
Alan says 10 days until their wedding.
Oh, Alan, congratulations, man. I tell you what, man. What do you 50-50 on the divorce, huh?
Let me tell
literally
50-50, but let me tell him a little hint of advice, because I've gone
from a
through,
married man.
I've been through a few marriages in my life, and
understood.
You know, get as many fucks out as possible in your honeymoon stage, because after that you got about 3 left in the rest of your life.
3
fucks, and they're spanned out between 10 years each. Between each fuck. And so
depends how many babies you want. If you want 3 babies, you got 3. If you want 4 babies, there's 4.
Yeah.
Smart.
But it's just you know, it really is a shame. So you just really just go ham this upcoming
Enjoy
week.
your next 12 days, because
I don't care if you're tired. You go again.
You go again.
All right, mister. Little Bogan says, "Happy Wednesday. Tomorrow is the last day of school.
Wow.
Woo!
Yay.
Got my Proud Mama Reptile Army shirt, wearing it tomorrow for the last day of school. Spreading love to the kids."
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Lil Bogus. And as a matter of fact, you weren't here for
Yes,
the
I was. I seen it.
Yeah,
today.
so we had a Reptile Army T-shirt, first one in the house that I saw.
Which one was
I think there was some this weekend that I heard, but I wasn't here when so I didn't see them.
Yeah.
It was the Fear Me shirt. Fear Me.
And
it was the first time that I saw the little side thing that says Reptile
It looks nice,
Army.
right?
Yeah, because all the samples they sent me don't have the side, the thing for some reason. I don't know why.
You.
Yeah, they gypped me out of the Reptile Army.
Your Gaines tank has it on the back though, or the front, one of the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Gaines tank.
Gaines
Any
tank,
new designs coming out soon?
Yeah, we've got
this week, right?
Yeah, we've got probably next week we're going to have. So we have 25 new designs, but we're only going to launch 6 to 8.
That's what I would do too. Yeah, that's
all right.
So over the next, and then of course when these 25 are up, hopefully we'll have 25 more by then, because we're continuing to think of new different things, and we'll have some other stylistic things. But
so keep an eye out for next week.
So
new stuff.
So in the next week or so, definitely go to reptilearmy.com.
Awesome.
And
and
join the movement.
Be a part of the army.
Be part of the army. Be a part of the movement.
You.
Do we have any other?
That's it for now.
Okay,
Cool.
So interestingly enough,
Yeah.
Jay and I talked about
What's up?
the whole like UFO disclosure thing.
Yeah. So what's going on with that?
So next month the Congress has to be briefed about what U.S. intelligence knows about UFOs, and there has been a litany of new UFO stuff that's been coming out
every hour,
almost like every day. There's more UFO stuff that's coming out, and so you do wonder now. First off,
seems like a front.
I agree.
Yeah, you wonder. Is there disinformation coming out right now, or are they trying to preempt a bigger thing that's going to come? Now the question is, number one, the Congress is getting briefed. Doesn't mean the Congress is going to tell us shit. Chances are pretty good they're not going to tell us what they find out. Chances are it's going to be classified, and we're never going to hear what they were briefed on.
Yeah.
But there's a chance there could be some leaks.
Okay.
And is this disinformation coming out in lieu of the truth, or do they really know? Like Jay said, there was a pilot that recently came out and said daily they saw these
for the last few
years. For years.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Now, who is they? Who's seeing
the
Air
US,
Force,
yeah, the
Navy.
U.S.
The Air
Navy,
Force,
the
Navy.
Navy and Air Force. So whether flying, and particularly over the ocean with USOs, unidentified submerged objects, every single day they saw them.
So is it possible? This is crazy talk. This is
Yeah.
so crazy talk.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's
is
not.
it possible that humans made a split? All right. Half of us live on land, the other half are water people.
It's not impossible.
It's not
And that-
impossible.
It's really not.
And then these people are just like they have these underwater ships, and then now they come out of the water. I don't know.
Well, the thing that's amazing is that these ships are these USOs are literally not slowing down when they hit the water.
No, it's as if
Really?
the matter, the medium of matter doesn't affect it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like
Just
they're
go through
going hundreds of miles an hour, maybe thousands of miles an hour, and they just go right into the water.
And
Right
do
through
they-
and right
so-
through wind
yeah,
too.
and
just
they
like-
don't splash.
No splash. I mean, they just like it's like they somehow there's like this anti-matter thing
So
happening.
guess what? That makes me lead to believe
What?
a quick editing software.
No, this is actually
No
actually
splash.
this is listen. This is
Editing.
coming from
Coming.
this is coming from the Air Force and Navy. Their fighter pilots' cameras.
Yeah.
And the Pentagon is saying these are actual footage.
So I know, but it's man.
Pentagon's a little sketchy,
I know.
Listen.
It's like, but also the Pentagon got hit by a plane. Like,
but
Yeah.
there's no proof
but
of that
where's
either.
the plane?
But no, but seriously,
it
I mean, I don't
feels
think
like
they would put
this.
out- yeah.
It feels like this.
Look
Hey
over
guys,
here.
look over
Yes,
here.
I agree.
And then they're.
I agree.
I don't disagree with the fact that
Little
there
false
could be.
This is
flaggy.
why. This is why. It's not that because trust me, I love aliens. I love thinking about this, but I
Yeah.
also love to play devil's advocate because I don't like to get finagled into
Yeah.
something I don't like. That's not necessarily true.
Sure.
So, what I try to think is like, okay, so for the past what? Let's say 50, 60 years.
Yeah, probably 60, 70
has
years,
been
right?
UFO
40, Yeah,
talk?
46. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what this throughout history, throughout that whole history until recently, they've been strictly not real. This isn't real, guys.
Mhm.
Public.
You're
no such
crazy.
thing. You're
Yeah.
wild. You're
Yeah.
stupid. 2020 comes around. Psych. We just been playing a prank on you this whole time. They're obviously real. Here's all the evidence. And so
Well,
it's just like it's just
Why?
It's just like the Fosse mask, no mask thing.
Mhm.
It's just like when you get told both things by the same group,
Right.
it makes you have a mind fuck
Right.
because you're like, all right, were you lying to us before or are you lying to us
Right.
now?
Yeah.
We can't decipher because you gave us
Yeah.
both options.
Well, what you got to remember, and I agree with you, and it could be a couple things. It could be that the military is so advanced that they have this technology that they don't want us to know about. That's certainly possible.
Sure.
Or it could be that they don't know and they don't want us to know. It could be interdimensional. It could be
That would be
you know,
crazy.
it could be, you know, you name it. If you think about, okay, let's just, you know, play, you know, devil's
Yeah.
advocate. Let's say 40 years from now,
Mhm.
we have the ability to time travel
Yeah.
back to here. Maybe it's us that's flying these crafts 40 years in the
You're
future.
not wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know. We
And you
don't
wouldn't
know.
want to tell people
Right.
that there's time travelers because then
Right.
that would fuck up time, right?
Right,
Because
yeah.
then now we would have time travel today.
Right, yeah. Or if it is extraterrestrial,
Mhm.
and let's say that, you know, I mean, we all believe in Albert Einstein, and,
Yeah.
and he believed in wormholes, which mean that you could potentially bend time and space and go
course.
from one space to the other instantaneously. If it is aliens, the government probably doesn't want us to know that because it would destroy all the belief systems
All
that we
religion.
have. All religion would be destroyed, and it would become, you know, this is what, you know, me, you, and Jay probably think it's cool.
Yeah.
But there are some people that would be like,
Existential crisis.
it would be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it
Oh my
would
God,
it could
yeah.
destroy the fabric of our civilization, knowing that extraterrestrials have not only been here, and then you got to say, all right, well, if they've been here, they've probably been abducting people too, because that's what they've been talking
Because
about.
that's what
all
we
this
would
stuff.
do too.
Right? Yeah. So that means that now no one's safe. That means that our cows are getting cut up. You know, like, you know
That's
what I mean?
why it doesn't make sense for them to even release this footage. I rather them just stick to the premise or the lie that they're telling us that no.
Maybe it gets to a tipping point where you're always going to eventually have to tell the truth, right? You can only keep a lie for so long, and then that lie is going to become impossible to keep.
I
you know?
I agree with like my personal life.
Right. Well, I think that's the way with almost anything. I don't think anyone can. I don't say anyone, but very few lies last the test of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Almost all lies will eventually come to catch
I
you.
agree so.
You know? So maybe that's the case with the government. Maybe back in the 40s when they did this, they didn't think there was going to be the internet and iPhones and every other, technology on the planet. Maybe they always were like, hey, listen, one day we're going to have to tell these people the truth, and rather than just coming out and going, bam, maybe they're just leaking a little bit out.
Now it's the ramp up.
I do think
it's crazy.
No,
I don't know.
You never know, man. You never know.
I think that many different alternate possibilities are possible. I didn't say that right, but I think that a few of the different things that we talked about are all actually possible. It's just very interesting to me. It's super.
Well, we'll
intriguing.
see what happens. I think in our lifetime.
You know what? This is the craziest part. This is the craziest part for me. Is so far in our observable universe, we haven't been able to detect life, other forms of life in any capacity. I mean, don't get me wrong. There has been a couple news blips.
Too crazy.
A couple little news blips. Hey, we may have a little something on Mars. We're going to research it.
Well, the chances are of our solar system having life is pretty slim.
Oh my God! Our solar system, that's almost out of the equation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, and we don't have the ability to really see life beyond our solar. We don't have even on the edges of our solar system, we can't see life.
But so you'd be surprised at the technology these days. We actually, with different types of tools that we have.
Not that, we can detect like what planets are made of, but like let's say Titan, which is just a moon.
Can't see below the clouds.
Yeah. Titan they think might have the highest chance of having life in the solar system just beyond us.
It's a moon to what, Saturn?
It's a moon to
Jupiter?
Saturn or Jupiter, one or the other.
I think it's Saturn.
Yeah, I think it's Saturn. But so. We can't even tell if there's life on there, and that's not that. We've been there a bunch of times. We've flown there, Saturn. So my point is that if we can't tell if Titan, which is certainly within telescope range, Hubble telescope range, certainly we've sent multiple probes to Titan and stuff like that. We don't even know if there's life there. You think we're going to know outside the solar system? No, never. We're never going to know that. I mean, we still don't even know if there's life on Mars. There might be bacteria on Mars right now as we speak.
Yeah, and those are the headlines I was talking about. There was a headline like a couple weeks ago.
There was like
fungus. Yeah, because they know that something is changing. There's a fungus-like thing that was there and then not there. And then it's there again. So something is moving around.
Over the tracks of the rover too.
Yeah, and so we know that there's something. That's my point. Is like we don't know what's outside in Andromeda or any of the. I mean there's so many solar systems and universes. I mean, just solar systems within our galaxy. There's hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Let alone outside our galaxy, which are 100 millions of those.
So, yes, but what I was going to say is what interests me is that we haven't found anything in our observable universe. Okay.
Right.
But there is a thing as our unobservable universe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's interesting to me about this is it is very well possible that it just so happens to be that there is fucking blooming life of super complex civilization that literally has cities in space, like cities in outer space where they're living. I mean, it's possible. Let's just have fun with it.
No, you're not wrong.
And
I get you.
And they have these warp drives and stuff, and they can pop into our shit. And that's very possible.
It is possible.
Well, you almost look at like when settlers came to the United States and there's already people here.
Yeah.
Right? Like they couldn't see from Europe, like, hey, over the horizon, I can't see that there's people here, but they get here and like, oh shit.
Yeah, think about the Native Americans that all of a sudden, the
white folk come with new technology.
With rifles. Like, what is this? And, I mean, they might as well have came from Mars. You know what I mean? Right?
Those Westerns are cool.
But not to mention, then you get into like multiverses, which is a whole nother thing. The fact that there might be, millions of multiverses.
I was reading this thing the other day. It's beautiful. There's this thing they call the cold spot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this oddly cold spot of our universe. Okay. And there's this working hypothesis that they're trying to prove. Obviously it's going to be almost impossible to prove because no one knows how to do it yet, but the hypothesis is that it is part of an overlapping universe. Like the
two fabrics touch and it's almost like they're able to go within one another, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know how to explain
like
it because I'm not like a proper guy. I've only read it and I didn't retain it perfectly, but what I got from it is like it's kind of a blip of potential that, what is that theory called where
String theory?
yeah, like it's kind of like proving string theory and the one where there are like Stephen Hawking's one where there's like unlimited different
Maybe decoherence?
alternate
There's a bunch
realities.
of different ones, yeah.
I know there's so many different ones, but basically,
Yeah, theoretical physicists are crazy. You know, I
It's
mean, they have
so-
so many crazy.
but there's a
options and
spot in the
ideas.
universe where they think that
Some proof to
different,
something.
different fucking things are overlapping. Now I'm just blanking on the word that literally
okay.
all I need is this
Yeah, just
one
a-
word.
Different
That's
laws
all
of
right.
physics,
Yeah, it doesn't
the
It's like
space-time, fabric of space-time.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Let's just move on. Yeah, it doesn't
It's
matter.
okay.
it's
What do we-
the yeah whatever.
It doesn't. We all understand what you're saying.
Not
You-
really, not at
I
all,
think you
but it's
do.
okay.
I think I do. Anyways. Wait,
So,
yeah.
Silver Guy says, I seen an old Don't Fear Respect shirt at my local mall.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's an
wild.
old school, man.
It's just like what we saw. In the
Yeah,
one
when we
store.
went to-
That's-
yeah, went
why
to the-
fuck how do they even get away with that?
yeah, it's like buy. I guess I guess you can sell like vintage stuff. You know, like
Yeah, I guess that's
pre-owned
true.
stuff. That's
Parodied
yeah.
almost. Too.
Well, this isn't parody. It was our shirt. You know, I mean, it was our
Right.
shirt that was being resold. So
Weird.
it just whatever.
Weird one. V-Dog says, just wondering if there's any news on the expansion.
So, you know, I'm literally just waiting for the first. So the process is that we're waiting on the new conceptual drawings. That could be any day, could be a week, could be two. I'm not sure. I just have to wait. You know, when they come back, and I think they'll give me 2 or 3 different conceptual drawings. And those are like the very jumping off points, right? I mean, those are like kind of like, I like this, I don't like this. Let's start massaging it. And then once we start massaging it, that could take, so what ends up, so once I get the first conceptual drawings, if I say, I like this, then I go to my builder friend and show him. I go to my Aquarius friends and I show them, and they start telling me this works, this doesn't work, put this here, do this. And then we massage that conceptual drawing into what can be more of a rendition of what it should actually look like. And then once we get to that point, then we have to do mechanical drawings and constructural drawings that actually
Do the
are
engineering, right?
to the engineering part of it. And that, so we're talking probably 2 to 3 months before we get to a point where I even know what could happen. You know, I mean, actually know, okay, I can now do it or I can't do it. I'll have an idea financially how much it's going to cost.
Right.
But I really do want to take you guys along on the whole journey. But this is kind of the so early. There, like, not much is happening. You know
It's
what I mean?
conceptual.
Like, yeah, and so things will
all
start
up
picking
here.
up in a few months. Especially if we go forward, you know, things will really start picking up in a few months.
Once physical things start happening, because
Yeah, that's-
everything
yeah.
now is mental and imaginative.
Yeah, and Jay's been with me for like my mental.
Yeah.
Like, he's seen me walk around and show me, you know, like, this is going to be here, this is going to be here, and then all of a sudden it becomes reality. And in my head, I've already built the Reptarium expansion in my head, so I kind of know what it's going to look like in my eyes. Now that's going to change a little bit. Certainly, it's going to change because I'm no mastermind, especially on aquariums. I'm no mastermind.
Now, this
but,
is
yeah.
interesting. This is literally take this or throw it at the wall if you please.
Mhm.
But an interesting video, or at least a little segment that you could do, is a little walkthrough where you try to explain just a little bit.
I've done it before.
You
I've
have?
done the
Okay.
walkthrough, but it's I
know it
think
doesn't-
Listen,
It
dude,
is hard.
I'm with him all day, every day, and see all the drawings, see all that. I still don't know what the hell's going on until
Yeah.
we have all the enclosures in here, and then I'm like, oh wow, this looks great.
Yeah.
Something interesting though is like you could do walkthroughs, right?
Yeah.
And because you get inspirations from other places,
Sure.
right? And maybe I don't know how you would fucking do it, but kind of do cuts to those places, like.
Right.
And this is what I want here, and voiceover,
Where it inspired it, yeah.
voiceover, yeah. And then you're showing like a little bit.
No, well, I think
Just
I think
thinking.
I think it's a good idea, and I think that one of the things we're going to do in the next 2 months, let's say, it's so this is the tough part, is that it's so busy here with egg season.
Sure.
Getting away is difficult. I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to go. I'm vaccinated. I feel comfortable with traveling. I want to go to places. The problem is that, as Jay know, every day we've got ball python eggs. Every day we have colubrid eggs. Every day
We leave
like,
for a
when-
day. There's 15 clutches.
like how are we gonna like take enough time to go somewhere? So I want to go to the Mississippi River Aquarium that's in Iowa.
It'll be tight.
That would be cool. I want to go back to the Dallas World Aquarium, and Lori wants to go to these too. She wants to see them. So the Dallas World Aquarium. I definitely want to go to 2 or 3 other aquariums, the Shed, stuff like that. And like you said, maybe gather some of those mental ideas, like I love this, I love this, I love this type of thing. And those are all things that I hope I can do over the next 2 to 3 months, to when we actually do have the final kind of, let's get into the nuts and bolts on the drawing. We have some concepts where I can show pictures, like I like this, let's do something like this.
I love this, by the way. You know why?
Why?
You know why I love this? Because it's a physical thing. It's a physical rendition of what I've been doing mentally with comedy.
Right.
You're physically going to these places, looking at these physical aquariums and such, and you're like, wow, I would love to take this part of this aquarium and use it as inspiration to form my own.
Yes.
Right? It's literally the exact same thing I do with professional stand-up comedians when I watch their thing. I'm like, wow, I love the way they do this. I am going to try and learn to do it similarly in my own way.
Yeah, without stealing the idea.
Yeah, because you're obviously not going to copy and paste the Dallas World Aquarium.
No,
of course.
But what you're going to do is, oh, wow, I love the way this curves right there.
Right,
I want to use the same curvature or mine.
It's funny, Noah.
Planting or whatever,
There was a dude that said, it was a really great saying. It was saying that an artist is a mosaic.
Okay.
In the sense that, like, you take that thing from Louis C.K. that you like, you take the thing from Dave Chappelle you like, and you make your own picture is you. And I love that.
Yeah, I mean, very few people are 100% original.
No.
You know what I mean? Because we can't be. We're always being bombarded with information. And so we're always going to take inspiration from things that we like.
I honestly don't know one person that's
ever been original.
100% original.
And if you are, you're copying off nature in some way.
Yeah. Like, there's always something that is like you take inspiration from something you see, something you do, and that's the same thing with the Reptarium and now this new expansion. Obviously, it's again, it's like I've said, I didn't create a reptile zoo, right?
Okay.
I mean, there's been reptile zoos for 100 years. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't come up with the idea. I just took and tried to put my spin on the reptile zoo.
Right.
And as far as enclosures, that I wanted that you walk into and feel like you're part of the exhibit as soon as you walk through the door. Yeah. As opposed to an aesthetically pleasing place, but then have beautiful enclosures. I wanted the entire place to be rocks and just like the podcast room. And and we'll do the same thing with the aquarium side of the house too, and the additional expansion of Reptarium. So no real new news, just kind of waiting. I think about it daily. I think about it all day, almost every day.
It'll be awesome.
What's that?
It's completely ridiculous. This is your part of my mind that just fired off. I had this weird vision when you said house.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a butterfly house.
Yeah. Oh, I've been thinking about this every day.
And I had this vision of the back door that leads right to the parking lot.
Yeah.
That being a tunnel that leads to the actual parking lot.
Yeah.
That is a butterfly house.
Yeah, I wish we could. We just need a parking lot, though. That's the problem. That's the
For who?
Yeah, and that's why it was just like a vision. I was just like,
I love it, though.
Deacon's still not going to find it.
Yeah. He ain't
going to find that parking lot.
He's going to find that part. But no, I agree. That's the only downside, if there is a downside to this whole thing, is that we are landlocked. And we only have so much room. That doesn't mean we can't do a third floor one day. You know what I mean?
It's like a McDonald's playhouse.
Yeah. I mean, you could, listen, there's no restrictions in this city to go up.
Really?
So I could go a
skyscraper.
And trust me, I will. When we talk to the structural engineers and they're doing foundation work, I am going to absolutely say, make sure the foundation is big enough to where we could put a second floor on or third floor on if we decided to do so. So that's
and just to be safe, fourth.
Yeah.
Just
you never know,
safe.
I mean, that's what the Dallas World Aquarium did. They just kept going up.
Which is so dope.
It's really cool.
And so again, I don't know that can happen, but I'm not going to say it can't happen.
Yeah, that's kind of my motto I live by.
Yeah.
I have a lot of crazy thoughts where I'm like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool to do this? And then my like realism comes in. I'm like, you can't do that. But I'm like, wait a minute, let's not say that. Let's just have fun. Say you can do it. Yeah. And if it happens, it happens. But at least I didn't limit myself with the word can't.
I've been trying to think of this because my vision is that the ceiling will be pretty tall.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there'll be like an atrium glass type of thing. Mm-hmm. I've been trying to toy with the idea could we put a walkway up above everything to where people could climb up these stairs or something like
almost
that?
Like a grate.
Yeah,
Like
and actually, yeah, exactly, like a grading type of thing where you would go
that'd
up
be
there on a
tight.
bridge, and that way you could oversee the stingrays, or you could oversee the tanks
That'd be
and stuff.
beautiful.
But
Yeah.
I just don't know. Number one, I don't know about the handicap issue. I mean, obviously,
Well, obviously
you know,
the handicaps can't go upstairs to the
no,
grade.
right, and I don't. But that's the problem is that sometimes there's laws that say if they can't, you're not allowed to put
Like
it
if
in.
you didn't bring enough food for the class, then no one.
Yeah,
can
or
have
if
it.
you got a peanut allergy, you can't bring peanuts.
Dude, come on, you're handicapped. You gotta not experience some things.
Well, jeez.
I mean, I feel you. You can't go to Everest. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
right. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean. Just life's not fair, and
Yeah.
I'm just
Speaking of COVID, though, Everest is a shit show. Have you heard about
know.
that?
No,
like there was a
COVID's
huge,
up there
yeah,
too?
there's a huge outbreak on Everest for COVID. Yeah, it's like literally
bad
like,
place to
like
get
yeah,
it.
like Nepal was like 50,
Jesus.
like something like 50% of the population had COVID. like it was
Like at one time.
At one time, like it just outbroke. And,
But that's also
and,
there's 42
yeah.
people there.
Yeah,
So
but you could
20,
imagine catching.
21.
and they're all Sherpas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could you imagine catching COVID on the way up to
Oh.
Everest? Yeah, you can't breathe.
jumping
now.
off.
Yeah, you can't breathe, and now you've got COVID.
and
you
there's
know?
dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
it's
there's a lot
That's
more.
my favorite piece of lore about Everest is how,
just how they leave the
bodies
dead
can't
bodies.
even decompose because
just
it's so
there.
cold.
Yeah, it's so
that like
crazy.
the guys are just like frozen from the 40s.
but it's true.
They're
like
just
it's
there.
true.
They're just
Yeah.
wearing vintage Foot Locker.
I stole the champ
North
shoes off
Face.
that motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, they're
all
like,
day.
look at that North Face. That's 48.
Yeah.
Punch it up for me real quick, Jay. Is there just put COVID on Everest? I'm just curious if there's any updated
COVID
news
on Mount Everest.
on Everest.
Let's see this shit. It's popped up. It popped up a
COVID
bit.
cases at Everest Base Camp raises fears of serious.
Yeah,
Let me see. This is ridiculous.
serious outbreak.
Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
shit.
just like that's just not the place you want to catch it. There's only, I guess, reports only 17 cases from hospital.
Yeah.
But that's like half the population, so that's why it sounds so bad.
Yeah,
But yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
crazy. Wow.
and I don't know.
Done
That- Yeah, so it's
That's
interesting.
crazy.
What else you got on that list
So,
Boy.
there?
one thing I want. This is another thing you can punch up. I just saw this story, and do you want to? Let's hit a couple super chats,
Let's
and
hit some
then
super chats
then
and
we'll
punch it
we'll
up.
punch it up. Yeah.
Okay, Silver Cash says, I believe that it's possible, but until I see an alien like for reals,
I feel
I
that.
second guess it. I lived in Vegas and been to Area 51 plenty of times. I figure it's just a bunch of secret testing.
Simple man.
Okay.
But Brian's
Simple man.
like, you are simple,
Let
man.
me back him up. Let me fight for him real quick.
Okay, let's do the
Ding,
Let me-
ding, ding.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yes,
Okay.
go.
Because we know that technology may be created that is not served to the public. Okay.
Sure, absolutely.
So arguably, we could write off every UFO, USO to some sort of government secret, top
Somewhere.
secret.
It's certainly possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we can also say that, yes, even though we may have footage of UFOs/USOs, no, we have never had at least real footage that has been confirmed of a alien body,
Correct.
right? We've never seen an alien body. So
Not yet.
I will 100% side with this guy on this,
Yeah, me
where
too.
until we do have a sit-down JRE episode where there's an alien sitting across.
Plop.
Yeah, me, bop, boop, bop. Yeah, like,
So
that
let me
shit,
ask you a question.
when that happens.
If you ran the government, now
Yeah.
not necessarily the president, but we're talking like
Yeah, yeah,
CIA,
yeah. Like- Illuminati.
really, Illuminati.
Yeah.
Um,
Through your
Which
body.
I got an
And-
invite, by the way. I don't know if I
and-
should say that.
and
Yep.
you recovered an alien craft
Yeah.
with aliens in it. What do you do?
The obvious answer for me is keeping that hush hush.
Yeah, and
Correct.
don't tell anybody.
And
I'm
that's
not-
my point. That's my point.
Yeah, but also the obvious answer for me, I would be like, no, yeah, those UFOs, you're crazy. Navy guys that saw them, you're getting X'd. I'm killing you. I'm doing this. Like,
Well, for many years that was the case. That it was like not allowed
it
to say
should be.
stuff.
It should
be.
it should be, because I'm not religious, but I'm fighting your point. I think it will ruin religion.
Oh, 100%.
So with that being said, like, you got to do what you got to do, because
And the thing that I don't understand about why it would ruin religion really is that there's nothing in the Bible or the Quran or anything that says that we're the only people in the universe.
But there's nothing also that says that there's anything else. So that's what it is.
No,
If it's a
but-
holy book, you would think that God would know.
Well,
right? If
but-
God
but
created
does it-
things elsewhere, he would be like, hey, I created things elsewhere.
God would
Yeah.
have said that.
would he have though? I mean,
He
if it's
should've.
a book about Earth, it's not a book about the universe. Now, if it's
Well,
said
about
in the
creation
book,
of the universe.
No. It's about the universe.
Yeah, it's the
and then
creation
there
of
was
the universe.
light.
and then there was light, right?
That's
but
all
that
about the
doesn't say that
universe.
there wasn't light all over the universe.
Yeah, but
that's what it says. That's what I mean. It's like the stars turned on. That there
No,
was
no,
light.
I understand that. What I'm saying is it doesn't say that when there was light that it says God created earth and man in the heavens, right? But it doesn't say that he didn't create other like planets.
No,
it doesn't say it either way, right?
It doesn't.
Right.
But if he did, he should have.
Well,
If you said all
I'm just
these other
saying.
things, right? Like you would think that like your
Yeah.
creator that's all
I don't
knowing would
know.
be like,
I don't
hey.
know where that narrative fits
Because it's
in
same
the
with
Bible,
the dinosaurs,
You know-
right?
You know who has the best joke about this? I know I'm gonna break it, but I don't think this is going anywhere. So let me break it. All right.
Okay.
Go
You know who
ahead.
has the best joke about this?
What?
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
All right. He says, "Have you ever been performing a task so well that you needed to stop and take a nap?" He was just like, "Why did on day 7
Yeah.
did you need to take a rest? Obviously, things weren't going so well. Something along those lines.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Something
about.
along those lines. And it's
Yeah.
just like the funniest shit ever. Like I love Chris
I'm
Rock.
just saying that I think I could still believe in religion even if there's aliens.
So, all right, so here's what I would
Me
say.
personally, I could.
Oh no, I could too. But well, not religion, but I could believe in creator regardless if there's
Right.
aliens.
Okay.
But here's the thing:
Yeah, I
if you
can back
take
up that.
if you take dinosaurs, right,
Yes.
or
Same thing.
evolution, why does religion hate those two topics so much?
Well, I think that's a man-made thing, though. You know, I don't think that was so much. Well,
do you mean?
religion is man-made, but I'm just saying that it's the powers that be that didn't embrace science for hundreds of years because they were afraid of science, and now it's just kind of been passed on generation from generation.
Right. But that's the
I don't think-
religion.
No, right. No,
That's the
what I'm
culture
saying.
of
Right,
it.
that's what I'm saying. It's a mistake.
Yes.
And I've said that from the beginning. I think that the biggest thing that has really harmed religion is their lack of
Change.
well, not only change, but also their lack of acknowledging that
Yes.
there were dinosaurs.
Yes. Or
You know,
anything.
or you know, I mean, you got to remember the timeline of the Bible basically says that the Earth is 6,000 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we know that's not true.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's no rational person can possibly think. And I'm sorry, I'm probably offending some.
Of course.
Some
It doesn't
God-fearing
matter though,
people right
because
now,
we can
but-
prove it via light.
Well, right. It's just proven about
Exactly.
everything, you know. But I mean, like again, it's flat earthers and everything else, right? I mean,
Yes.
like things that we can prove are
Hate
not right.
comments.
Yeah, hate comments. But you do have those.
Yes.
But I think that
Same
it would do religion good to come out and say, guess what? We believe there's
I-
dinosaurs, and we believe there's evolution,
100%.
and we believe God was behind evolution
Yes.
and the dinosaurs.
Thank you.
And if they did that, I think there would be more credibility.
That's like a brother deacon,
yes.
right?
Right? Yeah, Brother Deacon would say that. He
and that's
would
why
absolutely
I've
say that.
respected him a lot
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
than other people, because you're saying like, hey, listen, like this book was written by like people, so like
Yeah.
it's okay to change stuff every now and
Yeah,
then.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
agree, 100%.
exactly.
Simple Man says, awesome seeing some lesser ball pythons having eggs. Haven't seen many in the vlogs, but waiting for the that bell egg.
Yeah, I've got. We'll have plenty of that type of stuff coming.
Got
so,
that bill,
so
baby.
we got some bells happening.
Don't
You,
worry.
you, don't,
Yeah,
you don't
baby.
even worry about
Don't
it, Simple
worry.
Man. I got you. Is it, no, that was Silver.
Yeah, no, I
is that
think
Simple Man.
Was it? Yeah, Simple
Yeah, Simple
Man.
Man. Okay.
Simple Man.
All right, I take back what I said about you.
All right, maybe you're not that simple.
Maybe you aren't that simple. You like the blue eyed leucistics.
Complicated woman.
Future reptile.
Future reptarian employee.
Hey,
Says,
y'all.
hey, Brian, Noah, and Jay. Noah, thanks for the help earlier. Honestly, bro, all the hate in the world is ridiculous. We're all connected and should stop acting
Yeah.
separated. Love.
Well, that's-
Hashtag reptile army
This
and
guy's
all.
done mushrooms.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what
guy's
happens.
trip.
That's why he's nice.
Yes,
That's why he's a
true.
nice guy, man. Everyone should do mushrooms.
I agree.
I actually think that once a year, like the government needs to have a Passover.
Yeah, a
but like
Passover,
a
like a-
trip
ooh.
over.
Instead of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
President's Day, it's Mushrooms Day.
Mushrooms Day.
I think it would do us
Yeah.
way better than President's Day.
and
for
it,
sure.
Yeah, that's for
and
that's
it
for sure.
comes in like USPS or
Almost like
you
the
know,
census. Like,
yeah, like every day,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the mail woman has to drop it in your mailbox.
in
Yeah.
your mouth. She has to make
Yeah.
sure you took it.
Take your vitamins. Like that's
Take your
kind of
chocolate
soon.
bar.
No, I'm down. I was thinking about this the
I
other
wish
night
you
because they
were.
were talking
Yeah,
about.
we do.
Did you know? So I was I was watching something on the Science Channel, and it talked about. It was actually really.
Dirty.
It was
I
about.
love
It was
the
about.
Science
Mo,
Channel.
it was
Yeah,
about.
dirty.
It was about Moses,
Ooh.
right?
Okay.
And it talked about how the tree, the burning tree,
Yeah. and
Ayahuasca.
right, it's got DMT
Yep,
in it.
it's the acacia tree.
Right, so it's acacia tree, and so if he were to have lit it on fire,
Yep.
he could have hallucinated
And saw God.
and saw God.
And
talked
DMT
with
is
God.
the God. Like, it makes you feel
Right.
like you're
And-
speaking to something, for
all
sure.
right, all right, let's go fully theoretical here. everyone knows that lightning can create fire.
Yeah.
Who's to say that a lightning bolt didn't just happen to strike an acacia tree, which set it on fire? Moses walks up there, sees this fiery tree, is like, what the fuck's going
Gets
on?
high with
High
the
as
High.
shit.
And then, oh my God, 10 tablets. Oh.
And I'm not trying to say that. You listen. I don't
No,
want
we're
to.
just
I'm just saying
having fun,
that,
baby.
really my point of it was not so much about Moses being into DMT, but it was the point is that for thousands and thousands of years. Now you know me. I probably am not tripping on anything because I'm
sadly.
too it's sad,
Sadly.
and it's sad. I feel the same way. I wish I could trip
We
on
do.
some stuff.
Oh, we
you know what I
wish you
mean?
could
I
too.
think it would do me good.
Yes,
Yeah, I think if I did mushrooms, I probably wouldn't have anxiety anymore.
I think you're right.
I think
it
I
could
would
help.
have. Yeah, I think it could help a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm too afraid to do them.
Yeah.
But I think it's some. My point is that for thousands of years, going back to shaman to you name it,
Oh my God,
they
yeah.
used hallucinogens to connect with spirits.
Yes.
In the spirit world.
The Native Americans still do today.
Right, peyote. Yeah.
Peyote, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I think that it's not that far off to think that Moses wasn't maybe doing some DMT.
And that could be
to
God.
connect with God.
Dude, do you
what I
want to
mean?
know something crazy, Brian?
I do know what I mean.
This is wild. I seen this the other day. So Harvard, as well as MIT, and I think two other really big, like, impressive schools, are starting an experiment in long-term DMT trips to try to contact whatever beings are there.
That's
Isn't
such
that
a
wild?
beautiful
Oh
thing
my
to do.
God.
So, like, it's almost like, you know how, like, you see shows where they put them in the portal, but they have, like, the rope?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, just in case anything happens, I'll pull twice on the rope. That's, like, what we're doing right
Oh
now
my gosh,
into a
that's-
new dimension, you know?
I know that you haven't watched like an extraneous amount of podcasts just because you're very busy.
Yeah, I'm
but
busy, yeah.
one of the especially years ago when I had no responsibilities in the world, I would binge watch Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
And
Who?
Joe
Rogan's?
Rogan's.
Oh,
The Joe Rogans.
You know the NASCAR driver.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
He
He's
drives
good.
the
Yeah, I
Black
like that
Lives
guy.
Matter car.
Yeah, I like that guy.
The BLM car.
Yeah,
haven't seen NASCAR lately.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's true. But
Been wild.
so this NASCAR driver, he has
Has
his
been.
podcast and
Gotcha.
he likes to
The
do
Rogans.
hallucinogenics and
Yeah,
shit
I've
like
heard
that,
that, yeah.
DMT and
What a
such.
guy, huh?
Very unique guy. It says it helps him go fast
Wow.
and stay in the metal.
He's
But-
probably going 5 miles an hour, actually. He's like,
I'm fucking flying.
I'm going so fast.
Yeah. And
Vroom, vroom.
him and all, like pretty much most of his guests that have partaken in DMT,
Yeah.
they say that they see these figures.
Beings,
Like,
yeah.
like beings. And Joe, I believe, Joe's Rogan's, I think he said that he believes that that's like the God or whatever. Now, I could be putting words
Yeah.
in his mouth. It's possible. But
Consciousness,
I think
whatever
that
it
I've
is.
Oh,
heard,
Joe's going to call me after this podcast.
Yeah.
Be like, I can't
I
believe
can't believe
Noah.
your son would
I
say
wish.
that I said that.
I wish, but I think he did say something similar where like he believes that he's seen these like these figures and he may think that they could
How
be a
long does a
connection.
DMT trip
15
last?
minutes.
Less than
15?
15.
Real
I'm talking
minutes.
between 5
Oh, but
and
it
15
feels
minutes.
like forever,
You
right?
could build a whole society. Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, you could literally rebuild Earth from like it would be you and 2 other people and then up to where you're a king. And
Wow.
but it'd be 5 minutes.
See, I think
Time's
that,
relative.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm going to
No,
do it.
just say it.
I'm just saying that if I could be in like a medical situation,
Right, like
where
doctors.
there's
It's a real
doctors in a thing, I think I would do it.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Now-
All right, I'm making a call.
Now I can get, now I can
So if you have any doctors out there that have DMT,
Oh yeah, I know Dr.
let's-
Doofus down the street.
yeah.
He's gonna crush it.
not that kind of doctor.
Yeah, I'm listening to him.
there's 2 things. Okay.
Yes.
These are 2 real things. A, since there are some states now that have medical mushrooms.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
There are like some labs with real doctors.
Yeah.
Healers.
Now B, the more natural way and whatnot is via shaman.
Okay, yeah,
with-
Sean, and yeah, I think if you
Would
were,
you do a shaman?
yeah, I would feel comfortable with a shaman.
And see, I don't know if I would do that before. I'm just because I haven't put much thought into it. My first instinct is I'd give it a shot.
Yeah,
All right. Do I think it would be like the best
Because the shot-
experience? No.
I think it would be interesting. I don't know if
I
I
do
could.
too.
I think I might chicken out. But if I had like a really good shaman that are supposed to be your spiritual guide, right?
Yeah, that's what they do.
shamans-
That's
what they do.
100%. They say
And
Keep you from having a bad
Yeah.
trip, pretty much.
And I think that if you were sitting around, especially if you're sitting around a group of say 5 people that you felt comfortable with, all
Yeah.
friends and family, and yeah, you had the shaman, and you know,
you
it's like
do
rain
rituals and
sticks.
stuff like they
Yeah.
they do you good before. Like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
beat you with
Yeah.
hot leaves and stuff.
yeah,
Dude,
I
real
think
good.
at that point, you know, I think I would give it a shot. man.
After the hot leaves, man. The hot leaves whooping. Honestly, I'm down, baby.
If someone beats me with the hot leaves, I'll do damn near anything.
Yeah, you tell me what.
I think we have to go to like the jungles though. Like
no, we have to go to Amazon.
Jungles, yeah, like in the Amazon.
Oh shit, man.
That's good. We had to go there anyway, so that's perfect.
Yeah, we have to go there anyways.
So we'll
find a bull.
I'll schedule it.
Such a good
it's funny.
Shaman Kyle.
Yeah, it's funny because that's the same thing that happens with the bullet ant ritual, right?
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
You put it into the gloves and they bite you so much and you hallucinate.
Same guys.
Kind of
you know who's done it? We've met him, by the way. We literally have met him and shook hands. L.A. Beast.
Yeah.
Really?
Remember L.A. Beast?
Yeah, I do remember L.A. Beast.
He's finished the challenge.
He did?
He did it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty cool.
Crazy.
He filmed it too. It's not like it was just a story. He literally filmed it.
Yeah.
He was
actually, ironically enough,
crying.
guy named Patrick Spain, I believe is his name. He was on Nat Geo. He actually got his gig on Nat Geo from Kevin McCurley at Kevin's
Meth
shop.
God?
The evil meth god?
The evil meth guy. And he got a show called Beast Hunter.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was on Nat Geo. I love the show. I believe he recently, for years, he was off TV. He had like 6 episodes, and then he was off TV for years. And I think I just recently saw him on a new show. But nevertheless, he did the gloves.
You know who I could see doing the gloves? And if they told me, I'll be like, yeah, 100%.
Who?
Brian Cusco.
Oh, yeah. I can see it.
He would totally embody the gloves.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's got that like tough attitude about him.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, just like,
I'll go step on this volcano.
You pussy, I'll do it, pussy.
Yeah, he's just like,
did that sound just like? No, it didn't sound anything like
him. I thought he was in the room for a second. I tried switching cameras.
Actually, he told me he was trying to get some Belfort bourbon. By the way,
so he's sneaking through the rafters.
It says not available. He said he couldn't find it in California.
It's good stuff.
Because he doesn't want California.
It's got the flavor.
It's got the flavor.
And it's not a
flavor.
It's not a choky whiskey like
It's smooth.
Yeah, it's not a Jack Daniels.
It's not the pepper.
Like,
not the pepper.
Spicy.
Why is it spicy?
If you ever drink Jack, you almost throw up every time.
Yeah, it burns.
Like every sip, you're.
Hey, okay. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, but with this stuff, you sip it
Smooth.
and it's actually it's smooth. It has a nice full flavor. Like you're getting so many different flavors.
I gotta try it. I still haven't tried it. That's really good.
Just take a sip.
Just take a sippy dippy.
I prefer the pecan wood one. The rye whiskey was great. Don't get me wrong.
But the Peckinwood sounds good.
The pecan wood, it just had a couple even extra flavors to it.
There you go, Belfort Spirits.
Shout out Belfort.
Go check them out.
V-Dog says, maybe the government would want to keep aliens a secret, but why would aliens want to be kept a secret? And that's a great question. They wouldn't hide for our benefit.
It's a beautiful statement.
Yeah, because like if they have all this technology, how can we do that?
Well, let's think about it.
Yeah.
Let's think about it.
If
we were aliens, why would we want to be held secret?
If we were aliens and we were going to a hostile planet, would we want to
remember what we've done in the Middle East, though, by the way?
Well, okay, so why do we have Navy SEALs?
But we don't use them for everything. We usually just carpet bomb a place to death.
Right. But that's because we're the bad guys.
Yes, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But,
I know
what you mean. Yeah,
we do have clandestine type of
operatives.
Things,
yeah,
and we might
have scouts.
Right. I think. Okay. Let me just put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that Titan. We found. Oh my gosh, there is an actual civilization
Scuba
that
strippers.
lives there.
Yeah.
Do you think we would just like go in there, balls blazing? Going like, hey, guess what? We're from the Earth. Check us out. Or would we send in some clandestine? Like, we got to check these people out and make sure they know what they're doing.
We would definitely spy on them first.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
and
fair.
I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe.
But
maybe.
how long would we spy on them?
Well, in an aliens.
Oh, I got it. I got it. We would spy on them, but over time, we would inevitably get in contact with their leaders, which is precisely what they have done.
Doing. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, and I'm saying, and in an alien's eyes, and I'm not saying there's aliens.
No.
I have no idea.
Hey, we're brains.
But I'm just saying, in
good.
an alien's eyes, let's say it has been. Well, like ancient alien people believe it's gone on for thousands of years.
Sure.
But let's say in the 40s when Roswell happened,
Roswell.
and the whole kind of alien explosion happened, in the alien's eyes, 50, 60, 70 years is a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if an alien civilization was able to visit us, they have to be wildly more advanced than we are, right? Which means that they may have had a civilization for hundreds of thousands of years. So for them, not to mention they could bounce back and forth. Like they'd be like, oh, I'm going to work today. It's Earth today.
I'm going to go stop by Earth real quick.
I've got to go 9 to 5. I'll be back in 5 hours.
I had an interesting thought. Who's to say aliens are a being that lives like we do?
Right.
Who is to say that aliens aren't a form of AI intelligence.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's certainly,
Because-
yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? If you're talking about intergalactic travel,
Yeah.
chances are in the next 20 to 30 years, we're not sending humans.
we'll never send
We're
humans,
sending
ever.
robots.
As we
But
should.
you will be the robot though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they'll
Right, yeah.
plug your brain into the robot
Yeah.
and you'll
with
be
like
over
a VR headset.
Now, that's a good question too, right? The AI thing.
Right.
You know, if
Yeah.
if theoretically we're going to create AI
Yeah.
will probably take over humans in some way in an evolutionary purpose. We'll
Yeah.
combine together or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, wouldn't that mean that possibly most
Yeah.
extraterrestrials would be robotic in some
That's
way so they could
what
live
I'm
forever,
thinking.
right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's what I'm
Now,
thinking.
I guess the only other question I'd have though is like, why are they so not great at hiding from dumb humans? Because like we see them all the time, everyone's seeing them every day. They're obviously not trying that hard to hide, you know. So like, it's almost like this weird like dance. Like, hey, you can see me, but you can't.
Well, maybe that's the whole thing too. It's like
Mm.
slowly, exposing themselves so that it's not, I mean, who knows? Who fucking
I just like
knows?
it. This is
I
good
don't
shit.
know,
This is my
man.
favorite type of conversation. So
I
I'm
don't know, man.
leaving with
I
it.
just,
I don't know.
you
That's a
know,
good one.
yeah. I mean,
I wish
unless
we
they
knew.
have the invisibility cloak, like you can't
It's
really hide from
possible.
a camera phone anymore. Like even third world countries have fucking androids.
But we barely
Yeah,
see
like-
satellites, and they're close enough to where they
Yeah.
can see us, and spy on us. If they're
A lot
spying,
of people just say that people weirdly enough, and I do agree with this. Just don't look up in the sky enough.
oh, that's true. I've
You know
seen
what I mean?
mad
Like
weird
you
shit.
can you can be driving down the street and there could be an alien fly by and you would be like, oh, it's a fucking
Well,
plane.
I tend to look up, but I do see a lot of people that, it could be a self-esteem issue. It could be a lot of things, but a lot of people just stare at the ground,
Yeah.
I
like
know.
literally
Yeah.
just
and it is
head
like
down.
self-esteem.
Yeah.
And it could,
But I think the only thing, Jay knows this about me. I'm a huge alien guy.
Of course.
I'm a huge UFO guy. I believe. The only thing that has recently made me not believe as much is Elon Musk.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when Elon said that he thinks there's zero chance that aliens have visited us, it seems like he'd be a guy that knows.
I
And
feel
he
the-
would also be a guy that would say it.
I feel the same way about how
NDT.
you feel. Yeah, exactly. About how you feel with Elon Musk. As I feel the same way about Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Because he says the same thing. He's just every time
but-
someone brings
but-
up, he's just like, dude, come on, like
But
let's
the
move
difference
on.
with Neil deGrasse Tyson is that he doesn't have the satellites and he's not lifting things into space and he's not doing he's a
He-
theoretical physicist.
He
So-
knows everybody.
Well,
that
he
has
may
to do
know
with that.
everyone, but he may not know the people that would actually like. He doesn't know the space travelers. You know what I mean?
What
The
do you
people.
mean? He's probably got him on speed dial. He's like, yo, Neil. Or
Yeah.
like
Yo, Buzz.
I really-
Yo, Buzz.
Buzz
What up,
Aldrin.
Buzz?
I really think Neil can like go wherever he wants and see anything he wants.
Well,
that has
he
to do
might,
with
but I'm just
space.
thinking that Elon probably has information about space that he
Maybe.
doesn't know.
Maybe.
I'm talking about like
Could be.
obviously, if Elon Musk is partnered with NASA, which he is,
Mhm.
he's taking people to and from the space station. If there was aliens,
Mhm.
number one, Elon it's a private company.
He says
Well,
whatever
it's
the
a public
fuck
company,
he wants,
but
but
And he's
he
got
treats it like a
Asperger's.
private
so
company.
so if he
Yeah,
had
he does.
footage of his SpaceX rocket going up to the space station and there was aliens, he's probably like, I ain't fucking keeping this myself.
Yeah, you kidding me?
You know what I mean?
It's
They're-
To the
happening. It's
moon!
a private
yeah,
company.
yeah, exactly. He can do whatever he
Do
wants.
whatever.
So that was the one part that I thought, man, that does seem. But when you think of like you talked about Buzz Aldrin, Buzz Aldrin, interestingly
say?
enough, he never said anything, but he did some weird shit when he got back from the moon.
Yeah, you're right.
Like he
what?
went on this expedition to the Amazon to go search for something no one knows what. Like he went on this expedition into
Like
this-
almost like aliens were like, hey, you gotta
Yeah,
find this little machine.
literally. And of course, there's the famous, I think it's like 90 or 120 seconds of missing audio,
Yeah.
where like they said that they saw something on the moon and then they switched off.
Mhm.
They like went like,
remember
let's go
hearing
to the
about
private
those.
channel, and there was like a minute and 20 seconds of, and literally it
We
starts
need
with
that.
him saying something like,
Yeah.
they're
was that?
they're following us or something like that. That's
Yeah.
how it starts. And they said, okay, let's go ahead and switch to the private channel.
Yeah.
Off
I
or
need
you know.
to hear the rest of this
Yeah.
shit.
You know what's
and-
funny is that I don't think I'm making this up. There was this movie talking about the dark side of the moon. Like it was
Right.
all about the dark side of the moon. I think the premise was about something about this channel.
Yeah.
It was
It's
years
crazy.
ago
I mean,
I
again,
watched this movie, but
And I think it was not obviously. I don't know that Buzz Aldrin ever said anything, but one of the other, I can't remember which of the other Apollo astronauts He later on became an alien guy, saying that there's absolutely aliens. And it was one of the guys on Apollo 11, one of the original guys. And I can't remember which one it was. But he came out and said, yeah, 100% there's aliens.
If there are aliens, they are the smartest.
Well, yeah, they would have to be.
I mean, not necessarily.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to be. I mean, we have reckless humans,
Yeah.
right? And they do very reckless
Well,
things.
they're probably not like
beat their wives.
Send Jimmy Bob out there to
Come on,
Earth,
Jimmy Bob.
Send Jimmy Bob
But
out
don't
there.
we do it a little bit? We do it a little bit.
But Trump was our president.
Yeah, that's true.
So like,
We're doing
Well,
good.
those
So,
are the
like-
ones that are getting caught. Jimmy Bob got caught again on video.
yeah, exactly.
Trying to throw over the Galactic Federation, man.
That's what
Damn
I'm
it.
saying.
What was he flying over the Pentagon for anyways?
Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay away from the Navy ships, Jim Bob.
It's so true.
Stupid.
It is so
Yeah.
true though, because
Yeah.
I do not believe that well, let me say this. Let's say aliens are real,
Yes,
I would
they are.
not believe, and if they're not AI, all right,
Right.
if they're just another living kind of being
Sure.
that form naturally, I don't believe they would be perfect the same way that we are not perfect.
Mm.
So they would make mistakes as well, which would explain
You think they stubbed their
That
toe?
would explain Roswell
Which-
crash.
explain the crash, would explain a few leaked videos that have
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
It would explain all those things. All those things actually do make sense. But, I just feel like there would be one drunk alien that would just be in Times Square, just like,
Bleep bop.
yeah, just like, what's up? And you'd be like, whoa!
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I know what you're
man.
saying. Like
That's a
sometimes
tough
people
one.
go against the grain, right? Like so you
Yeah.
have a rogue guy, you have rogue Jim Bob. That's like, you know what? Fuck him. I'm going
Oh,
to Times
yeah.
Square.
Look at our
and I'm chilling out.
podcast. Like, this, I mean,
Yeah.
my podcast is ridiculous. We talk
Yeah,
about
but
the
think
most-
about it. Think
just like that.
Bigfoot don't mess up.
No, because he's not real.
What?
What the fuck you mean?
I'm,
Bob.
I'm putting my fucking hand down on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Now
You
you
say
say
whatever
believe
you
in
want.
UFOs, but damn it,
Well, you don't believe in a Bigfoot.
You don't disrespect the Barchek name.
You know what's so funny?
right.
I genuinely believe in aliens more than I believe in Bigfoot.
I
Oh,
do too.
100%.
I do too.
I mean,
do too.
9,000%.
I do too. I do too.
It's
So I
just
think
so
that there
funny.
are definitely species, and in
100,
particular in the
100% wild.
Amazon and out in the wilds that are going to
Pacific
be found,
Northwest even.
But I
100%.
don't think that there's a
Giant hominid?
Giant hominid
That
no.
shapeshifts?
No.
Oh, thanks.
I mean,
that
I
can't get caught on camera.
Now, let me
Can't get
say-
caught on camera
Conveniently
to us, yeah.
enough.
no, that's not saying that. I do think that there is possibility of there being a big creature out there that
It
can.
could be. It could be.
I think it's possible, but exactly like what we're saying, like shape shifting and like.
Well, the thing
all
is that
weird stuff
I
like that.
promise you, if
So-
me or you saw a brown bear standing up on
At
a
dusk?
tree, we would think it was Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, 100%.
if
right?
we saw Jay, at
Yeah,
dusk,
if you saw, yeah. Fair
we'd be
point.
like, whoa!
There's been times I walked out the hotel and be like, "Oh shit,
You're like,
Bigfoot's
Jesus Christ.
Bigfoot's out
Right in the
there.
middle of Mississippi.
Fucking yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Damn it.
Why not bring this damn
So
Yeti
hard.
with me, bro?
So true.
Silk Road.
Silk Road says, if aliens are coming, I hope they have tech that will produce thousands of Madagascar tree boas because I need one so bad. Sorry, off subject, but those snakes are absolutely amazing. Please
Yeah,
get one.
Sanzinia are amazing. I
love
agree
them.
with you 100%. I don't know that the aliens are going to care as much as
What would
as
you do,
will,
though,
but
Brian?
It'd be like, we come in peace with Sanzinia.
Yeah, dude. These are our ancestors.
I mean, it'd be good for me. I'd be all right about this. Yeah.
Simpleman says, what's your thought on gravity manipulation?
I mean,
Well,
technically,
yeah,
we all
are,
manipulate gravity.
Well, exactly. I mean, everything
are right
is-
now.
and I believe that it's not. If we aren't already harnessing gravity manipulation, we're close to that.
Yeah.
We're
I mean,
close
really
to that.
studying it and trying to
Yeah.
test.
Well,
with
somebody
it.
just, I mean, I don't know how long this has been. I just seen it, and I've never heard this. Somebody said that sound, they discovered that sound has mass.
Right.
And I've never really thought about that, but that's pretty crazy because that means enough sound could manipulate gravity enough.
Well, and that was what that whole thing about moving with sound.
Yes.
But
moving
doesn't it
moving
make sense,
objects with
though?
sound.
It makes sense though because we all agree that sound bounces.
Yeah.
You can fart and it can hit a wall and it can bounce off that wall and then go into your nose.
Okay. But so can light.
Yeah.
But light doesn't have mass.
Yeah.
Light doesn't have
No,
mass.
photons don't have mass. So meaning like a light, if I shine it off a mirror or off a
Yeah.
wall, bounces and then hits your eyes, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So sound has mass.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I guess the better way to look at it is that's why you can have so much sound that it makes wind. and it creates wind that blows your hair from the
if you
speaker.
have like a bass speaker, your hair is on
versus no lights bright enough to move your hair.
Right.
I'm surprised we didn't find this out earlier.
I've heard the things about like Egyptians using sound to whatever, but I've never heard this saying that sound has mass.
Well, if you think of the whole Jericho thing in the Bible.
Walls of Jericho.
Walls of Jericho, yeah.
But I was just thinking like it was sound. You know how like they have those songs that like realign your chakras or whatever.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's like maybe there's some real stuff.
No, I think there is.
Oh, I think there is. Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt.
You see the geometric patterns that form from sound. I mean, there's something from it.
How do I see that?
I'll show you.
Oh, is it like the sand on the speaker?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Or the water, how it moves and stuff. Like very crazy.
Wild.
Yeah. That's cool.
Christopher says, watch you daily with my family, and when the twins are old enough, we will be over from the UK.
Nice.
Keep up the good work. Love from the Thomas Reptile family.
Well, thank you, Thomas Reptile family. You know, it's funny. I was just thinking about the UK yesterday.
Yuck.
And we're close. As a matter of fact, did you know that they just announced that the UK and actually all of Europe is now allowing travel to vaccinated?
Oh, that's awesome.
So they've opened up. Now you can travel if you're vaccinated to Europe. Without any quarantine or anything like that.
I'm going to the UK just for some damn mayonnaise on my French fries.
Oh, I know. There's not. You know, the Dutch actually are the ones that started that.
I don't care. They got it all over there now.
Yeah, the UK fucking just jacked it.
Jay, you've never been, right?
No.
I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy. They do have different mayonnaise.
Oh, they do, 100%.
It's not like our mayonnaise where we're thinking about
whack,
Miracle Whip and shit like that. No, bro. Their mayonnaise tastes great.
Yeah.
And when you dip your fry into that mayonnaise,
it's
rich.
so good.
Rich and creamy.
It's worth it. It's worth. I've literally once or twice I've flown
just
to
for the
Dutch,
mayonnaise.
eaten fries, and then flow home.
That's
smart
for lunch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They just got a different thing.
Yeah, no, I've done it 3 times.
You know what else I've heard?
What's that?
I've heard that the Scots, all right, Scottish people, they don't even like, oh, come on.
Haggis?
Noah, you're really going to do this? Thank you,
Haggis?
brother. Haggis. They don't even like it. They just make it to troll the consumers, the tourists.
Oh,
yes, thank you guys.
I've never eaten haggis. I never will. I also, I was at a bed and breakfast outside of Manchester once, and went down for breakfast, and they had the typical English breakfast that was like
blood.
It was great. Blood sausage. Just they call it black pudding.
Black pudding.
Call it black pudding, but it had baked beans, eggs, toast, bacon, sausage, and then black pudding and stuff. It was I didn't eat the black pudding. I just couldn't bring myself to do it, but everything else tasted yummy. And it was a crazy thing too. It was like I was on the 3rd floor of a bed and breakfast, and you've been to the UK, so you know. I mean, like this. Talk about handicapped people. God, they don't care about handicapped people.
As we shouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, they're literally like the stairway is like, I'm on the 3rd floor with my luggage, because I'm there for 10 days. So I got a big old bag of luggage. And I'm dragging them up these like 12-inch stairs, I mean, they're like, you can barely fit the baggage up there. And I'm like, dong, 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 dong. And every day, I stayed there for like 4 days.
Yeah, we care a lot about
like,
people here. Yeah. A lot about them.
So totally different. And then it was a tiny, teeny, tiny room. It was still cool. I mean, I didn't give a shit. But it was just like a little cot.
I bet they had a couple tea bags for free for you.
Not in the room. Not in the. They had nothing
just
in
this
the
guy.
room.
I swear to God, every room I stayed in, we must have been staying in nice places.
You're staying in nicer places than I did.
Yeah, literally every place there was like tea and biscuits for free.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
I mean, we paid for the room, but
yeah, exactly.
Like they would have the.
I mean, I've stayed in a couple nicer places. I stayed in a place in London that was really, really nice, and it had tea.
I miss that place. I just miss, like, for instance, there's times where Jay and I and Anthony or whatever, we may have like an off day, right? And we're like, oh, let's go explore nature, right? And because that's what we have here.
Yeah.
Over there, they can be like, let's go explore a new castle that we haven't seen.
Well, that's what I was saying. Why I thought about the UK is
cool.
that now that it's open, I can't wait to get because your mom hasn't ever been over, so I'd like to do a little family trip. It would be really cool.
Just kind of
just
I love that
go
place.
see. And I haven't been to Ireland or Scotland, so
I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so I'd like to do a little traveling over there.
Simple Man says,
God, you're killing it, Simple Man. Thank you, bro.
Simple Man.
First experience in Iowa for you, apart from the roads. Not much here, but glad you'll have a memory from here. Won't butt in on your family time, but I would go just for a chance to meet you with my daughter.
Well, yeah, we definitely.
Nah, not you, Simple Man.
Number one, I didn't know Simple Man was from Iowa.
Me neither.
So yeah, if you're close to the Mississippi River aquarium, come meet us, man. Come hang out with us, dude. I mean, it's not you won't be butting in at all, man. Just come and hang out with us and chill with us the whole day, man.
You ever say any dumb shit about them fucking aliens again?
But if you say something
You're
about
out.
an alien, fucking
Simple
sit out in the
bitch.
parking lot. I'll meet your daughter. You sit in the car.
Yeah. Derek says, how can we get info on the Wilbanks cookout? And I think you just have to join their Facebook group.
Yeah, join the Growing Up with Will Banks Facebook group.
Didn't
I
they
don't
just
know much
say it's
on.
not public?
But it is invitation, so maybe if you join, maybe you'll get
Yeah, that's what I
invited.
think was the
Yeah,
move, is that you had
okay.
to become part of that.
Yeah,
that
try to get
clique.
an invite, man.
Silvercat says, maybe Lori is watching the podcast and feeling better.
Definitely
I sure-
not.
0% chance.
I think, I don't say that. I don't say it's 0%. I think if she felt better, I think she has got it on, to be totally honest with you.
Think?
I think so. I think she would be watching it right now. Not necessarily watching, but listening to it.
Okay.
You know, she listens to your stuff and our stuff all the time.
Interesting.
Not my stuff. She won't listen to Saturday Night
She
Snake
listens
Talk
to my
stuff.
stuff. She doesn't
Yeah.
tell me about it.
Yeah, no, I catch her all the time.
Interesting.
That stuff. Yeah.
Oh, Ivan says, microdose on this Fiverr.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
He
He just gave you $5 to
Yeah,
microdose.
$5
Yeah.
to microdose. Yeah. It is interesting because I know a bunch of people that have microdosed for depression.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
My friend gave me a free mushroom bar the other day, and I did a couple microdoses, which is like 0.2 or like 0.4, right? And I wrote a lot those days. That
Oh,
I
yeah.
microdosed.
Flow state opened.
Like,
Did you feel anything or no?
I literally nothing like
No psychotropic.
no movement of my vision, like nothing changed. The only thing that happened was my thoughts. Like I was just having more thoughts. And they
More
were
various thoughts, right?
So
Yeah,
you
they
know
were just
how
different.
you know how
They were
hypersensitive I am to everything.
Yeah.
Would I have had a head change?
I mean, I remember I was taking a piss and I was like, this is different. I was like, taking this piss is different.
It's a little more difficult.
But like I wasn't there was nothing different besides just like,
But I don't know that microdosing is good for anxiety. I think it's mainly depression. No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I did this is just on the same thing of like dosing for anxiety, depression. I listened to a podcast, and I don't even want to say the name because I could be saying a different name, but this person did that ketamine shit.
Yeah, ketamine, yeah.
And they said that that it worked, but it made them feel really shitty the next day.
Really?
Like
Like
it
a
was like it
hangover
like
almost.
drained
Oh
them.
yeah, that's gonna happen. Anytime you drain all your serotonin
Yeah.
and dopamine, you're gonna feel shitty.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the guy was just like, I did go back though because it did help.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was
it's funny, you know,
interesting.
I guess ketamine helps with a lot of depression,
Yes,
but
sure.
not all depression, which is interesting. There's some people that do ketamine and it doesn't help at all.
Yep.
You know, and
It's
and-
so
and
crazy that they're
that
using these
that one
drugs.
would be a tough one for me. Like DMT,
Ketamine's a little
I
harder,
think I would
yeah.
do DMT before I did ketamine.
I'm with that.
No,
I
ketamine's
agree with
scary.
you.
And
for
then
me.
I also have.
Ketamine scares me because before I ever heard about this anxiety shit with
Yeah.
it was always referred to me as like, dude, it was so fucked up. Some guy accidentally or
K-hold, right?
yeah, they gave me ketamine like in this pipe or whatever, and then I didn't know I was smoking it, and then this bad thing happened. Like,
yeah, then I woke up 3 days later in Florida or some
exactly,
shit.
and
yeah.
then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, we're curing anxiety with ketamine. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to
Yeah.
all the real stories that I've been hearing for
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
That's just not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
This goes down to medically induced versus like some dude
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah, but there's still there's
be
no
true.
doctors doing ketamine.
No, but there's
it's always
healers,
this
you know
like
what I
guy, like, yeah, I got this. We're gonna
know
do
a
this
guy.
We're gonna put you in this room and we're gonna take care of you. Let's go ahead and do it.
Interesting. So
It's like a fucking Botox doctor.
when you
know?
said this room, it made my brain link to those like not sleep deprived rooms. Those like rooms,
Sensory deprivation.
sensory
Yeah.
deprivation rooms, right? And
We talked about that before.
that NASCAR driver for the BLM. That
Oh, the
guy,
Rogans.
the
Rogaine. Joe Rogaine.
Joe Rogan
Rogans,
guy,
yeah.
the hair product guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The he supposedly there's like this research that the older you get, the shorter these like
Telomeres.
telomeres get in your brain. And if you do this deprivation tag,
deprivation.
Oh, it's like going to the gym?
it reverses that,
Wow.
and it actually can
Ah.
grow your telomeres.
Mm.
And so it's the first thing that now this could be a lie, but it is a groundbreaking discovery in kind of like the science world and the human world.
Yeah.
Because it's one of
Reversing
the,
aging almost.
It's reversing aging naturally and legitimately.
Huh,
Like
interesting.
they have actual proof that it does this.
Your mom did one. I bought it for her not her last birthday, but the birthday before COVID.
Yeah.
And I'd like to check it out.
I would do it as well.
I don't know if I'd like it or if I'd freak out, but the fact that you can get out.
I think you'd like it.
The fact that you can get out is good.
You have all the control.
Let me defend for you.
Yeah.
You have at least meditated.
Yeah, I meditate a lot,
And
so that's
it's the
similar.
same
It's probably
thing.
similar, yeah.
This is just helping you meditate, really.
Yeah.
I think it's exactly that because it's just like that that river in Israel that you float
The
because of salt.
buoyancy, buoyancy.
Dead Sea, yeah.
So you
Sea.
won't even have to worry about driving or floating.
Yeah.
It was just float.
This crick.
This one creek that they have in Israel.
That crick that Jesus used to use.
Yeah, that's how he walked on the water.
Water.
That is actually
Salt.
maybe I walked on water. That's interesting.
Dun dun.
We solved a
We solved
2,000-year-old mystery.
A couple guys in a rock cave, man. We did it.
We did it. We know what happened.
Couple Balfour whiskeys.
Yeah, we're good,
We
man.
know now what happened. We solved the Moses. Now we solved the Jesus.
Aliens, we're all on it, dude.
Oh fuck.
You
what
guys are
happens.
welcome.
Look what happens.
We've grown here tonight. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Blue Salad says got some sausages for reptiles in on
too.
5521. My
Interesting.
snakes ate 2 the first day, but she didn't look thrilled about it. Won't eat anymore. Do you want the rest?
I would love to try them if you want to give it a shot, but that is I think that has been the fundamental problem with the snake sausages is that I know it sounds weird, but
It's a great idea,
It's a great idea, but it seems like I don't want to say majority because I would be lying if I said, but it seems like 50%. It's 50-50.
If we skin rats and put the skin on top of the sausage, is that the same thing as just using the rat in the beginning?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's not do that.
So it is a little bit gross because, they're grinding up rabbit, to make a sausage to feed a snake.
That's what we do for our sausage.
But it's a very interesting idea. It's a novel idea. I like it.
Now, do they
but it just
scent?
doesn't seem they do have some scenting now, frogs and lizard scents. But I don't know that.
No rodent scent?
I think that the rodent, like the normal ones, like the
Oh,
rodent scent,
yeah.
But I don't think. I think that's the problem is that if you buy them just like this person did, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work. Now you got a bunch of sausages that don't do anything.
Rat-scented sausages.
Yeah, right. So it's too bad because I love the idea for the people that don't want rodents in their freezer to have sausage. That's great, And I think that maybe some snakes, like maybe king snakes or maybe even corn snakes, might be very maybe it's like 80, Crebos for certain. Yeah, I think those things might be an 80 or 90% success rate.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna get
A ball python.
99% of ball pythons aren't going to eat that consistently.
No.
They won't eat a frozen thawed rat consistently.
Yeah.
They're not going to eat a sausage. So, but it's a great idea, and I love the idea. Really, I wish it worked.
I think that they, just like everything that starts new, like it always evolves into something. I hope that these sausage fellas will just keep thinking,
Sausage fellas.
and then they'll probably develop better products. And
Well,
so on and so
he's been
forth.
working on it for a long time, and I think that
really?
probably has developed some better stuff. I'd love to
Give it a
test some
shot,
more
yeah.
of it out, to be honest, because I haven't ever used any of them. So
Send
reach
us
out to
some
me. I'd love to. Yeah,
sausages.
I'd like some sausage. If it's not good for the snakes, I'll cook it up on the Barbie.
Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah.
Sausage soup.
Silver
Silvercast
Cash says Mike Tyson takes mushrooms all day, self-medicate, and I've got tons of friends that microdose. It's true.
Yeah, I mean,
Tyson's killing it,
I've
bro.
seen Tyson like eat handfuls of mushrooms.
I love him, man.
I mean, like,
he's become a great character in our world
Have
for
you,
sure.
Have
Yeah.
you seen his Bill Burr interview?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh
guess-
yeah. When
Bill, like,
didn't
called
even
him-
know.
Yeah, Bill didn't even know.
hell?
Yeah, like he was like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? He's like, oh, I'm on mushrooms. And he's like,
He's like, I knew there was something else going on
Yeah,
here.
exactly. But the whole time, Mike was just picking apart Bill, like his insecurities and like internal. shit.
make you feel, bro?
Yeah, like he was like,
so
he
good.
was like, it was like a therapy session.
wrenching.
Yeah, it was really fucking
Yeah.
real.
It
shit.
is wild how Tyson went from like the most vicious boxer to literally like one of the sweetest human
Come on,
beings
Joe
on the
Rogan.
planet.
But it changed again.
Yeah.
He went back vicious
Yeah,
when
it
he
went-
fought
yeah,
Roy.
Yeah.
Did you hear the story Joe said? Joe
No,
Rogan,
no.
Joe, the NASCAR driver.
Yeah,
He
Hair guy?
yeah,
Hair guy?
the Rogan guy.
Yeah, Rogan,
He
yeah.
said that Tyson is the reason why he got a larger table again.
Because he got all like upset.
Yeah, because we have a large table. We probably have a similar size to Rogan.
Yep.
I guess he cut it in half, so they were more intimate.
Yeah.
And then when Mike came back the second time,
It's all like jacked.
Rogan, yeah, he was all just like fired up and like he was like, you can see it in his eyes. He's ready to go. And he was just like, I did not like that. So we got a bigger table. Yeah, we got a bigger table.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But
Well, I think that's the thing. He's got that killer instinct in the ring, and that's what Tyson had said. He didn't want to box anymore because he had lost that killer instinct.
He got it back.
And then he got it back for that fight, obviously, and then yeah. So I mean, speaking about fights, we're just a couple weeks away from the
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul fight. Yeah,
Dude, this is nuts. Now we're having super chatters, super chatters. Okay?
Oh, let's check this
Simple
out.
Man says, "Prop to my super chat, bro. Silver Cash.
Yeah.
Have you seen that picture of old Mike Tyson's fight? Shows a smartphone. I did see
Oh my
that.
gosh, that's awesome.
Have you seen that?
I don't know what.
I haven't
so
seen
what?
it. No, what's
I mean,
that?
I've seen so many Mike Tyson's fight, but like
Supposedly,
Is that
there's like
specific?
it looks like there's a cell phone, but it's from like the '90s, so there wasn't cell phones.
What?
around.
oh, I know what you're talking about. You
Yeah,
know,
so like he had some, like he was like from the future then. Is that what you're
I mean,
saying?
there's a bunch of photos like this, and we really never.
The hard
know.
thing is that it's not impossible that this is not a cell. It just looks so much like a cell phone.
It looks just like a.
But it's also, I mean, couldn't it?
It could be a lot of it. It could be a camera. It could just be a
Yeah.
normal camera. It could be,
Yeah.
I mean, a million things. But it does look like a dude holding a fucking Samsung Galaxy.
It's almost identical to a
It's
Samsung.
crazy, man.
Whatever the fuck. Wait, but what is? Wait, look at down 3 columns to the left. It looks like there's this camera
This
thing
one?
right there.
See, this is what I would think it is. I
Yeah.
agree, 100%. But
I mean,
yeah, you're
it is
right.
Close.
It's definitely close.
It's close. I mean,
wild,
it's
man.
not.
Let's just pretend it's a
identical.
cell phone. It sounds funny.
But you know, it's funny if you look at the other. Can you go back
Yeah,
there
yeah,
for a second?
Let's see.
If you look at the other pictures, don't look as cell phone like. You know what I mean? That one looks really cell phone like,
Yeah.
but then go to some of these other
yeah, a
pictures,
few of them are
and
different.
they look like
more
more like
blocky, right?
yeah, more blocky. Like maybe it is some
Mm.
kind of weird camcorder. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know.
Hey, man.
Oh, it looks like that one, the
Listen.
Casio in the bottom right. It looks like
Yeah.
that Casio.
Yeah, it does
It
look
could-
a
it
lot
could-
like that, man.
It does look like that fucking Casio, bro.
like it, bro.
It
Yeah.
does.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But
I-
it is interesting. I mean, yeah, listen, there's conspiracy theories all over the place. It's
Especially
easy to
these
be,
days,
Yeah,
man.
it's easy to get conspiracy
So
theories.
easy.
But yeah, it is interesting that super
Chat.
Yeah, super chat. Simple Man and,
Yeah,
and
thank you, Simple.
Silver Cash are real rock stars.
They're
and
conversing on
they're-
themselves
they're-
now.
Those are our rock star super chatters. There's no doubt about that.
Super.
And speaking of a rock star,
Our
we got
boy Jason from
What's up,
Morphixology says,
jerky
"What's up,
boy?"
Snake Dudes? Just watching while I go through my room, catching up on snake stuff. More eggs. It's heating up around here."
Yeah, that's
Hell
awesome. Good for
yeah,
you, man.
jerky.
Yeah, keep on going, brother. Yeah, it's heating up here.
The
We're up to
next-
50 clutches already.
50.
Yeah, 50 clutches already in ball pythons, and then we have like 70 clutches in colubrids already. So
So
This-
crazy.
So-
Next time I see Jason, he better have a new flavor of
a
jerky.
new flavor. of
He
jerky.
better.
I think we should go
Not a
sweet and
slap 'em.
hot, sweet and spicy.
Yeah,
that's-
that's
sweet
some-
hot chili or
That's
something.
basic.
It's been
though.
played out. How about Korean barbecue beef?
I am onto this. I like that. I like
Yeah.
some sort of garlic Korean beef.
Yeah, garlic
kinda
parmesan.
thing.
or
Work
something.
on that for us.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
get that going, man.
Sue, this is a good one. Sue, she says, "Noah, the reason I gave you the wood wiggle snake was
Oh,
because
yeah.
you mentioned having one when you were younger
Oh
on an
yeah,
old podcast."
that is true. I did use. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
I
for
remember.
that.
I
Bringing
think
back
I
memories.
think I bought you that.
And I
one.
used to pinch my fingers in these
All
fucking
day,
cracks all the
dude.
time, and the fucking worst pain I would have as a child.
Yeah, it's probably engineering, not the best engineering.
Yeah, should have put something like a sheath on it. Silver Cash came back to say, "Always good seeing other super chats supporting everything." And super chat bros, Simple Man. I don't know. It's crazy.
I
man.
love you guys, man. You guys are the best, man. You keep it going, and we
Thank you,
appreciate you
guys.
guys.
Lil Boga says, "What could cause a snake's eye to bulge? Happened after had stuck shed on its eyes."
Well, it could be a slight infection from the stuck shed. It could also be subocular infection. Obviously keep an eye on it. If it gets too bad, that's something that you want to take it to a vet. Or Kevin McCurley, the meth head.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Tiffany, what's up?
She says, "Hey everyone, hope Lori feels better soon.
Yeah.
Also, I think I want to try coming for my birthday.
Yeah, she mentioned that.
If I do, we are going to blow some fireworks up together? Question mark.
Oh yeah.
fucking do it.
So is their birthday on the 4th? Maybe
I don't know when her birthday is, but maybe it is.
But she commented this morning about maybe coming for her birthday,
that'd be
and
awesome.
that would be dope. So either way, yes, and I'm always down for blowing shit up, man.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Jason and Chloe said, "Hey, it's Jason and Chloe from Springfield, Missouri.
What's up, baby?
Those are our friends from Missouri. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Love all you guys, Brian, Noah, Brian, Jay.
Brian,
Keep
Noah,
up.
Brian, Jay.
Wow, they love you twice.
they
said
love me the most.
Oh man,
They love me
sound
more than
bad.
you. They love me twice as much as they love
that's
you guys.
crazy, dude.
I love that, man.
And
That's awesome.
Becky Gallant threw some just some love.
Some
Appreciate you.
Canadian
Thank you
love.
so
Yeah, she's been
much.
doing this what do they call it? Earthing? Is that when
Where you use
stand,
no feet
yeah,
or no shoes?
Yeah,
Sorry?
no shoes.
Yes,
on the,
earthing.
Earthing.
I do that sometimes.
Me
It
too.
sucks.
It sucks.
Oh my god!
You ever step on
especially in
glass?
nature. Oh my god!
Oh, if you try
Well,
to
I think
walk
you're
like
just supposed to just like, aren't you supposed to just like go on like some grass and just like
well, that's the Brian Barczyk way to do
Yeah,
it. The Noah Barczyk way is like, hey, let me go walk on this log with thorns on
no,
it.
no.
Yeah, it sucks earthing, man.
My
Yeah.
feet were fucked up for like 10, 12 days after.
You have to like
I was like
wean into it, dude.
maneuvering around in the
Yeah,
jungle.
I walked to the back of our by the tortoise pen
Yeah.
in our backyard, and I had to walk past the rose bush.
Oh no.
And my bare feet. I was earthing, and I got stuck.
I was
like,
earthing.
"Whoa,
Earthing.
phew." I was
I
like,
like that
"Fuck this
saying.
earthing
Yeah, me
stuff,
too.
man."
I'm about to say it every day.
Earthing. Yeah, me too. I'm picking
done
that
with
up.
this earthing
Hashtag
shit, man.
earthing.
I put the freaking clobbers on right quick. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
The clogs. I'm putting them wooden clogs on.
Put the fucking Dutch
Somebody
clogs
did
on.
send us clogs before.
Yeah, they did.
They
Yeah,
did. They
yeah.
did send us
It's-
clogs. I'm
There's
like,
nothing
dude,
wrong
what
with
the
a clog.
fuck are you sending us clogs for?
Nah,
We're
there's
not
nothing
gonna
wrong with a
wear
clog.
them.
Elvis the other day on the weekend,
Clogged
he
up the
really
toilet.
those fucking Crocs, man. It's scary. You know,
What?
so a little girl had a pair of
Oh, the
it was
Crocs.
actually
no.
it was actually pink ones. So he normally goes after blue ones. But man, I tell you what, he was like he didn't go, I could tell he was going to go after, so I like pulled him and said, "Oh, you know."
He's
but
fine.
but you could tell he like keyed in on those Crocs of that girl, the shoes, and was like,
No, I have a conspiracy theory.
"What's that?"
Now, do you think there's any way that reptiles or monitors have a different color spectrum
course.
Yeah,
than
it's
us?
possible. Yeah,
So
possible.
maybe, his blue, what color were those Crocs?
those were
Pink?
pink. Yeah,
Pink. Maybe
Normally
it's
doesn't-
possible that the blue and the pink look similar to
it's possible
mine.
because he won't go after like other colored Crocs, like red Crocs and stuff like that. He won't go after at all.
You might see
But the pink
grayscale or
ones, yeah,
something.
pink
Could
ones.
be.
He went at. He like you could just tell he looked over like he was ready to eat, and he was starting to go. And she was a little girl too, so I was like immediately.
Get
scared.
out.
You know
Yeah.
how they say like dogs see black and white?
Yeah.
How can they tell this thing? Can they pick apart the brain and tell?
No, you look at the cones and rods in the eyes, and you can tell
Yeah.
what receptors they have and what they don't
And
have.
so do we know what reptiles see?
There's some yes.
I would
Some-
assume each
yeah.
species is different.
Yeah, I don't know if there's been any studies on monitors or not.
And then one last thing about eyes. You know
Yeah.
what my favorite part about eyeballs are?
what's that?
In my opinion, eyeballs look like explosions of supernovas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a supernova.
Everything's like something, right?
explosion.
Yeah.
Like I love looking into our dog's eyes because they have a very unnatural color when it comes to humans in particular. It's like an orange, right?
Right.
Their eyes are very orangey.
Yeah, especially Susie.
Yeah, and Zeus and Phoebe, and when you look into their eyes, it's just like it literally just looks like an explosion
Yeah.
of just a galaxy or
No.
something.
So it's
That's
not
it, yeah.
impossible. It says that they see only certain ones see only green and blue.
Mhm.
Other ones don't see any colors.
Interesting.
So you can imagine that the shade of blue and the shade of pink could have been a similar grayscale shade or
Possible.
something.
Yeah. It's
Definitely
possible.
possible.
Possible, yeah.
And then we have from Silver Cash says, have an awesome night. Glad was
Yeah,
able
thanks.
to catch the podcast tonight. And Lori, get to feeling better
Thank you,
and
man.
supporting the Otter Fund.
I appreciate you for all your support on everything. Thank
One
you so
last
much.
one, and
Yep,
then
yep.
I still want to talk about something.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, let's hit this last one.
Magnum says, Male Ball has refused food for the last 3 months, ate once 3 weeks ago, and started refusing again. Should I wait or start getting concerned?
No, not at all. Don't get concerned. I
At
mean,
all.
it's really common. It's especially males like that. That's really common. So no, nothing concerned about it. As long as it looks healthy, even if it loses a little bit of weight, they can lose about 20-25% of their weight without any concern whatsoever. And even if they lost more weight from that, I wouldn't be concerned. So what do you
Yes.
want to talk about?
You were going to talk about something about comedy, but we stopped the conversation earlier.
Yeah,
'cause you
it
wanted
was
to
going to
talk
be a
about it.
really long
We can make
thing.
it short though.
So basically, I wanted to talk about the fact about like we were talking this morning about comedy and how business and stuff like that. Like we obviously are a business family, right? You know,
Sure.
we've ran businesses our whole life. You've only been around a family that's run business, which is
Yeah.
very different from a family that's only has jobs. You know, it's a very different thing.
Yeah.
So like we look at things probably very differently than most people. You know, because
Very
we're
much
always
so.
looking about. So like I was talking about the conventional way of doing comedy is working your way up the chain, open micing, maybe getting some hosting gigs, maybe then getting some paid gigs, maybe opening up for other comics, eventually so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But we were talking about like the business side of like how could you create, like you talked
Mhm.
about the barn and stuff like that.
There's this. So Dave Chappelle has done this thing, and he didn't invent it. He actually kind of took it from tradition of
Mhm.
I'm gonna butcher it. So basically, just in previous tradition, they would have these barn parties.
Yeah.
And this is just my recollection. Like I said, this is not verbatim by any terms, but they'd have these barn parties where they would just throw a real big party in a barn. And basically, Dave is taking this thing, and that's what he does with comedy with celebrities and such. He'll just pack out a fucking beautiful venue of celebrities and just
Yeah.
have the world class comedians and musicians just in this barn. And now I want to take this idea, potentially build a barn of my own on land of my own, and do open mics and
Yeah.
real shows and
Yeah.
Venue.
and
Yeah.
have a venue that like I can
Yeah,
have
the comedy barn.
like a comedy barn, and build like a cool little second layer that you take stairs up to, and then there's seats in a second layer
Right.
upstairs that can peek
Yeah.
down like in a coliseum or something like that, and like just something beautiful like
Sick.
that. Potentially, this
Yeah.
is just it's just a dream thing, it's a vision thing.
Yeah.
But
Then make it
so
happen, baby.
What else? So what else were we?
No, I think that's what I was just wanted to talk about is the fact that, like it's cool that you're entrepreneurial where, you're thinking. And in the Detroit area, there's a lot of open mics and bars.
in bars, and
And there's not a lot of comedy clubs.
no,
So there's not the
only a
comedy.
couple.
Yeah, the
There ain't no
comedy
comedy
scene.
barns.
Yeah,
No
there's no
comedy
comedy
barn.
barns. But in whatever you do, like I had talked about Jay, I was talking with him about like maybe even like renting like a VFW type of hall or something like that for a night and having your, 8 of your best comic friends that do open mic / hosting, whatever the case may be, and doing a night where, you charge $10 for people to get in, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
putting on
that
your
would be
own
awesome.
shows, like it doesn't have to be. And then as that works up, maybe that's the start of the comedy
Yeah,
barn, you know what I mean?
smart.
Like as you start to do,
Build
maybe
the
you're doing them,
audience.
maybe you're doing them once a month, maybe then it's once a week. And then next thing you know, you're doing your own, like, hey, we're to open up the comedy barn now and just moving
So
it over
cool.
to your own place, because I think that's, I'm not I like comedy, but I'm not a comic by any chance. I always tell Lori, that certainly she didn't marry me for my humor. I'm not, my part of the vlog isn't to make people laugh. You know what I mean? That's not what I do.
You do know.
I'm like, do something goofy.
Yeah.
But they laugh at me instead of with me. But you're funny and you've always been funny since you were a child. And but I still look at things from an entrepreneurial standpoint and think like, when I watched the Comedy Store series, I was really impressed with that series because
Yeah.
that was again, Detroit isn't LA, Detroit isn't New York, obviously, but I don't think that just because Detroit isn't LA or New York doesn't mean that can't work in Detroit.
No,
You know what I
LA's
mean?
not even LA anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point.
And we have a
it's
good
just like-
scene here. Like,
Yeah.
there is work. Like,
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I think that, the clubs that are out there now, and I don't know that much about them because I'm not in the scene, but
there are a lot.
I'm just saying that, like it doesn't seem like there's a centralized place that is really new and kind of grasp the new comics. And I don't know, maybe there's some opportunity.
Truth be told, I could be wrong as well because I'm very new to the game. But in my mind, I don't think there's a place where brand new starting comedians, like people that are like, I want to do this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a hub for those kind of people.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's, New York, LA, and there's various other cities. There's just like, this is where you go to get great.
Right.
But in my opinion, you got to get good before you can get great.
Yeah.
And like there should be a hub for newcomers.
Well, and that's the
to
thing.
get
Detroit,
good.
yeah, Detroit
then
is not
move.
like Detroit isn't whatever in the middle of nowhere.
It's technically in the
know.
middle of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Well, that's
really
the thing.
is.
It's Midwest. I mean, you've
Yeah.
got Chicago, you got everything else. I mean, it's not.
No, you're honestly, I think it's one of the most like hubs in the
Yeah.
entire country because,
Right.
like you said, you have from Chicago to New York to Pittsburgh.
Well, that
to
was
Philly,
the thing.
like,
People told us that the Reptile would never work in Detroit because it's not L.A., it's not
Gives
New
a
York, it's not Orlando, and it's worked great. And so I do
Worked
think that there's an
splendidly.
opportunity that I don't think that anybody in the last, since, the handful of comedy clubs that have been around for 30 years.
Decades.
There hasn't been anyone recently that has tried to develop.
To put some gas on the
Yeah,
fire.
put some, and that's why I think, you're young, so you've got some time. I wouldn't say that you would do it in the next 6 months or a year. No. But when you start really getting, I think there's some opportunity where you could make like the epicenter of Detroit, really, and because you're
to at least help.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're helping people out because that's what seemed like the Comedy Store was in L.A. was it was like they were helping comics that had talent, and from David Letterman to Pauly Shore, obviously the owner, to Richard Pryor, to all of them, Eddie Murphy. They all started at the Comedy Club, Yeah, and that's the Comedy Store. I'm sorry.
I know that. Yeah, there is one guy, Adam Walsh. He is. He's like the owner, or I don't want to misplace him, but I do believe he's like who started this group called Knucklehead Comedy.
Okay.
And I heard a whisper that he wants to open a club one day.
Right.
And that's all I really say about it because it's not really my business.
Right.
But so it's not like it's a what do I even want to say here?
It's not unrealistic.
It's like people want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's good to have more than one person wanting to do that
exactly,
because you don't want a monopoly.
No.
You want the love.
And the thing you got to remember is most people fail at things that they do anyways. You know what I mean? It's like that just is the reality of it. Especially people that might not have the experience to do it and the know-how of running a business and stuff like that. They make a lot of mistakes, And obviously we haven't ever opened up a club or a bar or anything like that. But all our experiences and your experience raising up and seeing all the things that we've done because we've mentored many businesses. It's going to help you. It's going to help you. I mean, you're going to have to still learn, and there's going to be mistakes and stuff like that. But that's all I wanted to talk about. I found it interesting.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Literally, I hope just to make it easy. I definitely want that shit before I am gone. You know what I mean? I definitely want it before I'm gone. I am never going to rush that. I think that if I do it, I want to do it perfectly. And I want to, the thing I'm worrying about now is purely just my comedy. I'm trying to be the funniest that I can be.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important part of my life right now. And then after I feel very comfortable with my comedy and with, I don't know, my just feeling of myself.
Sure.
Then I want to pursue that kind of dream with that.
Well, yeah, you don't want to put the cart before the horse. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel right doing that yet because
you haven't gotten the time in yet.
No, yeah, but that doesn't mean that we can't dream and we can't have
and you start thinking,
stuff.
It's gonna probably take years to get to that point, but that could be like the goal, or one of the goals. I'd love it, I'd do it. So
Anthony even had a funny idea. He said, because and there are plots of land. I saw a plot of land, 10 grand, 5 acres.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
10 grand. And you're just like, wow, that's a lot of acres. Not terribly a lot of money for something physical that you own.
Yeah.
And he was saying with that amount of land, you could have your barn, and then you could even have like huts, for example,
right?
That you rent out a hut, to sleep in for the night.
Right. Yeah.
How funny would that be? Like a little camp getaway. You know how they have those fucking one room or
like a cottage almost.
Yeah, like little cottages that you
can
build.
make one of them a ketamine.
Yeah,
ketamine cottage.
Ketamine cottage.
Yeah,
I like it. That's what
the comedy barn.
But basically,
the DMT
den.
DMT den.
Yeah, we could have all those things.
Mushroom.
Ketamine cottage.
I can't think of a word.
I
was already on it, Brian. I'm trying.
Mushroom.
I'm trying to think of an old name for a hut that Native Americans stayed in, but I couldn't think of one.
TP.
Yeah,
DMTTP.
The DMTP.
The DMTP.
Yeah, just take that
DMTP.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
So basically, before we hit these super chats, who knows what the fucking future has to offer? But just know it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's just good that you found something that, like me with the reptiles, I always knew that's what I wanted to do. It seems like you found a path that you're really excited about, and now you just got to keep that passion for as long as you can.
It's literally what I've been searching for the past 4-5 years.
Yeah.
Ever since my junior year of high school, it's all I've been thinking about is trying
what
to
do I want to do? Yeah.
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 Literally.
And that's the thing. When you find something that you're really passionate about, it's not work you're doing. It's just like I've done my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I've spent my life around animals, and it's always been a passion. It's just been like, it hasn't been like a grind, like, oh, I got to grind again another day. You know, it's like, all right, this is just awesome. I get to do this every day, you know, and I think it's amazing. I'm proud of the fact that you found it. I'm proud that you're busting ass. And I just want you to make sure you just keep on it. You know? And I know you will. All right, Simple Man crushed it tonight.
Yeah, he says, hope you all have a great night. Much
Thank
love
you,
from
brother.
all of your chat gang.
Man, you're the best, dude. Thank you so much. I really do.
Support, man.
And yes, Tiffany's birthday was July 2nd.
Oh, that's
so
right.
2 days before the
That's
4th.
right. I apologize to Tiffany because I remember having the conversation, her saying that she wasn't sure if she wanted to come because we're closed this Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Of the 4th. She's like, is it worth it for me to come because it'd be the 2nd and 3rd? And of course, I told her the 3rd she could come hang out with us
of course.
down in the podcast, VIP room and stuff like that. So, but it's up to you. It's up to you to come. I think it would be great. We'd have a great time, and we'd definitely blow some shit up.
Becky came back to say, take your shoes off and stay away from the roses, Brian.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying,
Brian.
man.
Stay away or smell the roses?
I thought it was wake up and smell the roses. She says, take your shoes off and stay away. So
Yeah, she's talking about earthing.
Oh,
the
just
earthing,
stay away
yeah.
from the roses
Yeah,
to
the
poke
rose,
your
yeah.
feet.
Surfing.
I get it,
You don't
I get it.
understand. My feet are like a baby's bottom.
No, they're like old people's skin.
Old people's skin.
like
Yeah.
that have been in salt water for 38
So like
years.
you pinch it and you will literally just take it with you.
Just tear it off.
Just tear it
Get a
off.
cloth.
It is true. It is true. My feet are very sensitive.
And
It's
that's it.
gross.
Yeah, so guys,
It's like Voldemort skin,
yeah, it's true.
see through.
It's see-through,
Jesus
just like my
Christ.
legs.
Yeah,
His
it's
bird.
fucking
Legs,
disgusting.
literally, my legs are so white that you can see through the bones.
And with that being said, should we close out the podcast?
Yeah, let's do that.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Checking In. You
Yes.
have been checked in. Don't forget, our next couple podcasts, we may do a Choices podcast on Friday with the boys.
The boys.
But if we don't do that, then the next one will be Snake Talk.
Snake Talk on Saturday, and there'll be a solo, and I've got some good stuff on Saturday. You guys don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
It
Don't
goes
wanna
back to
miss it.
1999.
99, my birth year.
Yes, yes.
Boom, 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 boom. So thank you guys so much for watching. You have been checked in, and we are checking out.
See you guys. Thanks for everyone.
Woo.
Good night.
Adios, amigos.